All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and pets alike, welcome back. Yet another day and another awesome, jam-packed event in the North American Challenger Tournament summer season, the last remaining day in the knockout stage. Today, I cannot emphasize the stake, how high the stake really is, because today we're going to determine the last two winners. We're going to go to top four, and once you get to top four, they're just honor, pride, money, diamonds, whatever you want, the dreams, the cars. No, not that much, but still, the coolest ML can offer, all in top four. Who's gonna make it today? We will find out. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the caster stats and talk about the bracket, talk about the tournament, we first want to talk about the questions of the day. On screen right now, make sure to answer the two questions that we have. Are we gonna have a 2-to-1 series? Is Franco going to be picked today? Use the correct format. Question 1, question 2 was the answers, and tag your Discord tag, and the moderators will be picking the lucky winners. I think the first 10 viewers who responded will get a code sent to them so you can redeem them in game. Some special surprises from our developers. Yeah, it's gonna be really, really cool. Now, with that being said, our first match preparations already underway. Today we feature New Wave taking on Anarchy, Valley taking on Team Sexi. So very exciting matches because all the best teams in North America are right here in today's event. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna quickly send over to our incredible caster's desk. So make sure to follow our social medias, Mr. Trex Senpai, as well as G the Aiko, so you can follow their future journeys in Mobile Legends. So let me quickly send over to our handsome, talented, one and only, two and onlys, caster's desk.
Man, Assassin Dave, he always catches me off guard with those intros. But everyone, welcome. We are here. Trex and G the Aiko. G, you know, it's always a pleasure casting with you. We've been doing this for a little while now, like 6 months,
just
a year
a tad.
almost. And it's always a pleasure to have a familiar face in the caster desk next to me. I'm pretty pumped. It's been a long month, right? It's been what, three or four? We're coming up on 4 weeks now of the NACT, and a lot of teams. There's been upsets, tears, happiness, new teams coming up, a new era in NA, right? So many great teams have been rising to the top, G.
Man, the new era of North America is upcoming, 100%. Like you said it, there's been upsets, there's been changes. Like, the tournament scene is just in an uproar right now, and I love it. I love seeing it, and I can't wait to see what we do now.
Yeah, it's definitely been something to see. I mean, and looking at, I've been watching the bracket. I've been watching the games even when I'm not casting. I'm checking everything out, and I mean, it all started, right? It all started back with BTK losing to Meta. Then we have Area 77 get knocked out by New Wave, which for me, it was hard to choose either one of those teams to like, because I am a fan of both, right? So that was some tears shed, you know? We have Team First Blood and Team Meta, which to me, those are two teams that have like both kind of risen up. Team First Blood, a pretty new team. Meta, we know some of the players, but didn't expect either of these teams to get so far. And they have both secured it all the way to the top 4 already, G.
Yeah, and another one, you know, like going into like the third tier, the round 3 here, like Meta versus Black Bulls. I was, you know, Meta took out BTK, but I was still thinking, I mean, Black Bulls was showing a good like hunger. Like I could feel it. That I think one of those games were just definitely like an upset for me as well. Not crazy like the BTK, but and again, Team First Blood versus Insomniacs, you know. I'm a huge fan of Team First Blood, but we've seen both of them grow.
Yeah, it was tough watching Insomniacs lose that game, and I'm sure a lot of the fans, a lot of the viewers are upset about it, but I've been saying it from the start. Team First Blood, Dark Horse, Rookie of the Year, even though they're not rookies anymore, even though they've been around now for a few months, to me, I just feel like it's a name that has stuck, it's a niche, and Team First Blood is showing out, man, and they haven't had an easy bracket. They beat Deuce Knights, they beat Superior Esports, and then they went up against Insomniacs, and Insomniacs has always been a top 4 team for a while now, so Team First Blood has rightfully earned their spot. Definitely excited for the top 4 in the games tonight. So we have what? New Wave up against Anarchy. Series 1, the Valley versus Team Sexi. G. Which one of these games are you most excited to watch?
Man, I to be honest, New Wave, you know, Anarchy, another one of the teams that you just don't. They're not a familiar name. They're a new name, at least in the esports genre that I know. So I want to see what they can do. I mean, we're going for the top fourth spot here. That almost secures access to money. Like you're gonna have to put your all into it right now.
Most definitely. But before we go any farther, we do have a word from Jappa, the gold lane from New Wave. So before we talk anymore, jump into these games, let's hear what New Wave's got to say.
I am Jappa. I am the gold laner from Team New Wave. I am 19 years old and I live in the United States. First of all, thank you for all your support. And I want to invite you all to support us so we can win this NACT tournament and show you who is the strongest team. Somos New Wave.
Somos New Wave. Gee, where do I get one of those jerseys? I messaged Big Gamer, the manager for New Wave, a bit ago, and I was like, I need a Tamal jersey, man. I need that tank, that main tank jersey, #1 tank jersey. I need one tomorrow, man.
I'm gonna have to, you know, definitely send my own little personal message out too, because your boy. You might have to throw like a G the Kaio on there for me, you know, like.
Definitely excited. You know, New Wave's definitely like the more veteran team, right? The more experienced, the more comfortable in the tournament scene, I would say. They've competed in several events, from Liga Latam to the NASL to several NACTs. They've been doing their thing. A lot of people may know them as TSU before they rebranded and became New Wave. Definitely a exciting team to watch. Anarchy, a couple familiar players. You got Craxy, Alex, but still, this is going to be a big wall if they want to beat them. And we're about to see as we jump into the ban picks, draft phase, and the first ban of tonight. So we do have New Wave with first ban, first pick.
Your team is banning.
Taking out that Xavier.
I mean, again, Xavier, even though after all of the nerfs and the little buffs and, you know, still a viable mage, I don't want to face him, to be honest. Not me. Not New Wave. They're gonna have first pick. They're definitely building up here for trying to think here. I'm thinking maybe a Julian first pick.
You know, one thing about New Wave, right, is a lot of teams leave that Xavier open up front, but New Wave has been known to have a lot of versatility, right? Like almost, they have a deep hero pool, I would say, and I feel pretty comfortable saying that. So it's hard to guess, it's hard to say, and I'm pretty sure they could switch up their ban phase to several different, you know, definitions, several different ways, whether they're first, whether they're second, how game 1 goes, how game 2 goes. They are ready to change things up and change the way they pick. They took that win off Area 77, picking up the Aerithil in game 3 to take out the 1-1, which to me was surprising. I wasn't ready for a pick like that. So we know they're versatile in the side of Anarchy. So the question is, can Anarchy keep up with that versatility?
I will tell you, letting that slip through, that's a really good crowd control mage. But first pick, I mean, there's tons of counters you can get to counter Eve and then lock down that real world manipulation. The biggest thing that I'm seeing here is that the teams they're banning fast. They've done their research. They know what they're coming in here to do right now. Karina, Esmeralda.
Definitely prepared for it, right? And it's game 1, so I think both of them, they've been hitting the drawing board. They're prepped for game 1. I think game 2, the bans may slow down a little bit, right? We got to think about some things on the fly. Back to that Eve on Ziggy. The man has 0 deaths on the Eve throughout the entirety of NACT. This has been one of his go-to picks. He's been a monster on it. Also has overperformed on the Lunox and several other things. To the side of Anarchy, though, Alex. He's been a solid jungler. Nothing like too crazy. He's not the most flashy. I mean, he's not getting like tons of kills, but he has been solid. He's carried his team here. And Jordan has also performed well in the Esme, performed well in several other EXP lanes. The only thing that we have to look at right now is Indo just picked up this Thamu's jungle, and I'm pretty sure it's been something that we've seen him do well as well, I think last week, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, Indo has definitely been really good on Thamus, so they are building a little bit on it looks like maybe the tankier side, and then Anarchy responding with a carry pick as the third. Maybe picking up the marksman a little bit too early.
Definitely the carry maybe a little early. Like I'm not against the Beatrix up front. I'm not against something like that. But maybe this is the plan. Pick up the carry, ban out the Beatrix. The Wan's already gone, and just hone hard into these marksmen.
Yeah, we know that New Wave's gold lane. It's just, again, we just seen a video of them. Definitely a target here, Joppa. So we'll see here.
Yeah, Joppa's definitely carried some games, and his Beatrix has been fearsome. Like, it's been something that a lot of teams need to worry about. So, Anarchy, knowing that, I'm still wondering about the carry pick and how New Wave wants to draft into that now. So it's like, we don't have a super tanky jungle. Like, you have the Thamus who's going to build pretty tanky, but it still has some sustainability. Now it's the question is, maybe pick up a bit more of a mobile roam. You know, they did ban out the Matilda, so maybe it's not something they're going for. But I'm kind of worried if they put too much bulk in the front line and Craxy does get fed, it could be a major problem.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that they want to go for the mobile side on New Wave. And I mean, the reason behind that, again, is the carry pick. I'm actually really surprised Anarchy decided to go for a Grok ban instead of actually maybe picking Grok for themselves.
Yeah, the Grok, I mean, I think they're worried, right? Like they're thinking they probably, and as we mentioned, the bans are going fast, so they know. So they already have a plan. Maybe the Grok just isn't part of their formation right now. The Franco still open right now, still a major possibility. And that was one of the questions of the day. Franco could get picked up here. It's not completely out of the realm for Tamal or for the side of Anarchy, right?
And the side of Anarchy is building what I like to call the tank killer combo. We got the carry, we got the Lunox, and then are they gonna pick up the Franco? It's wavering. The Franco's wavering. We got it. Okay, let's go.
I feel like it's a good pick. Yeah, I like the Franco with the comp. You have the real manipulation. You have the Franco with the bloody hunt, and then you have Jappa on this Clint, who, even though he doesn't get the Beatrix, I've seen Jappa shred with the Clint. A nice end game. A lot of Clints have been popping off in the NACT more than we've been seeing in some previous tournaments, right? He's definitely been a pretty hot commodity because the Beatrix gets banned, because some of these options get banned, but they didn't go for the Akai, and now we may be seeing that get picked up by Yue here, unless they opt to go for a bit more of a mobile or a healer sustainability. Once again, I think the major problem for New Wave, as you mentioned, the Lunox and the carry, right? Tank shredders. So they'd either need to get some early game pickoffs on them, or they got to find a way to play around that.
That's 100% why Tamal picked up the Franco. They on the side of New Wave, like their overall goal right now is to suppress the tank killer and just overall take over the game. Stop the Lunox, stop the carry, and that's going to allow you to win the game here. For the side of Anarchy, man, like they're just going to have to be cautious. Don't face chest bushes. I mean, you got the real world manipulation that can control the field. And then you also have the Franco that's going to be randomly hooking bushes. Like, you're going to have to be on your P's and Q's and know where you're going.
Yeah, I feel like Anarchy needs to take these fights from angles, come at it a little bit differently. Don't just go head on into New Wave, into the real manipulation, into the beta Franco. You gotta kind of pick and choose your team fights. And I think they want to maybe come at a bit more of a possibly spread out way. But this is game one of the first series of the night. New Wave up against Anarchy. Let us know in the chat who you think is gonna take this. I'm definitely excited for this match, G.
Yeah, I want to see if Jordan can respond to this absolute counter of a Dairoth pick. You know, like this is XP lane and gold lanes. They're gonna be wavering just a tad. You know, Jordan's gonna have a tough time with the Dairoth. Clint's already landing hooks here, and then Tamal, absolutely the hooker. But we have Jappa. I want to this is Jappa, man. Top what 10? Top three in the NACT of kills. So Yuna's gonna have to look out.
And I think, like I said, that's a big thing. We already see Tamal kind of hovering up here. Yue as well, though, both tanks. We know that the plan for Anarchy here is keep Craxy fed, keep him safe, don't let him fall behind, because if he does get up, he's going to be the one who destroys Indo. He's going to be the one who destroys Dogtor and Tamal. Jappa should be able to outrange him in this early game, in this laning phase. But Anarchy maybe trying to make a play here, but not pushing it too fast. Turtle still another 37 seconds, G.
Yeah, they backed up just a tad bit there because we did see Indo trying to end clips onto the side of Anarchy's jungle. So they just had to play it a little bit safer there instead of going in on that Clint with a full team fight there. But they really wanted both teams just kind of hold it now, but maybe not.
Oh, Ziggy in a very bad spot. Luckily, Tamal does come in to help out. They want to keep on pushing. Indo with the engage, but Alex comes into the back line and gets that kill on Ziggy. Now he's moving in. Indo goes down too. The Bloody Hunt does lock in the hook, pulls Alex back, and the kill is made. New Wave, it's a 1-for-2 trade. Anarchy comes out on top of that one, G.
Yeah, New Wave did not want to die that early. Indo took a death. That's gonna again allow, I mean, both of them, you know, both the jungles took a death, so it kind of evened out there. So I'm gonna take that back. But the Dairoth did rotate to mid as well, so it's gonna allow. Whoa! We had a suppression by Tamal there. This is what we were talking about, T-Rex. Like, you gotta farm Craxy. Farm Craxy.
Yeah, and that is a fair trade, a definite fair trade, and we've seen New Wave do this in the past, right? Like, give up Turtle, hone in on the gold lane. They've done it in the past. I've always appreciated it's a great strategy, I think, to have. They will completely ignore it. Wait a second, road manipulation does come up. Yue luckily gets the stun on a Ziggy. The Numenon Blast comes down, and the stun lands. Yue may just be able to get away from this. Tamal still sitting in this bush, though, and after seeing that first hook from Tamal in the first 10 seconds, yeah. I got a feeling we're going to see a lot more of those.
Yeah, definitely. And again, this is what I was telling you by Anarchy. They got to be on their P's and Q's here. We got looking at the past battle here. Both jungles trading here. Both sides really wanted it, but Tamal with the hook, man, just locking people down, pulling them back into the tower, securing the kill. Great match.
Alex did make a wonderful play. Wait a second. Bloody Hunt locked on to Yue. Alex trying to come in. Tamal a little too low. This could be bad. Indo does go down. Now we do see Craxy trying to come forward, but Anarchy got their pick. They got their kill. They're going to back off. Right now, Anarchy holding their own against the Beast of New Wave. And you mentioned that replay we saw earlier. Alex, I feel like Alex came out on top of that. He does die, but he gets 2 kills, right? And Indo dies for absolutely nothing. Right now, Indo falling behind the jungler of New Wave 0-2.
Yeah, Indo's struggling just a tad bit here. They're definitely going to have to play a little bit slower because the moment Anarchy starts scaling is the moment Jappa is going to be in a little bit of trouble in that gold lane. They're going to have to get their charisma and their flow back together. Jordan in a lot of trouble now. Dogtor.
Alex going to come under the tower and get that kill. That is beautiful. Jordan was about to go down, but Alex is there to help out. And now it's 4-2. Anarchy starting to creep more and more ahead, G.
Yeah, Anarchy's looking good. They're like a well-oiled machine here. But, you know, we did see something similar by New Wave the other night. You know, they took one loss against Area 77, right? And then they ended up turning the tide. They're more of like feeding and feeling their team to see how they'll play.
Oh, the Bloody Hunt does come down. Yue maybe caught out. Jappa gets the kill. Craxy now locked onto the tower. The real manipulation is not able to catch him, but they are keeping pressure on Craxy right now. He's feeling it. 3 members up in the gold. But here does come Alex to try to help out. Will they get Craxy first? Alex does arrive, but Craxy goes down. It's just too late. Jappa may go down as well. Alex able to get that kill, and he's moving on to Ziggy now. Ziggy using that sprint to try to get away, and he's able to, but in the back line, Tamal is taken out by Soy Play.
Yeah, and one of the things while all of that was going down, Jordan almost taking bottom lane turret, absolutely taking a lot of the gold plating and taking it down right now. T-Rex.
Anarchy, I mean, they take the tower. They're making good rotations, and yes, New Wave putting a little bit too much focus on that gold lane. Taking a look at Alex's items, he's already got the cursed helmet in. He's definitely well above well above Indo right now. Indo still struggling to even lock in that. He has picked up the Radiant Armor though, but down in the bottom lane and the top lane there is action. New Wave able to take out 2 members of Anarchy for the price of Dog Tour, but Alex wants to keep going. He's not able to do it though. Indo with the outplay, able to take him down. 3 members of Anarchy are out. New Wave continuing to pick up, and this is that mid-game spike they hit sometimes. We thought they were behind, but they are now rubber banding back, G.
Yeah, no, Indo looking at the map and rotating right there. Dog Tour is taking a lot of deaths here against an Esme. So it is looking a little wild for him. He might have to step it up. It does look like they decided to just switch lanes instead, which would probably be a really good play here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they've taken that gold lane in the top, right? So Jappa does want to come down. A nice hook onto Esmeralda, and you will go down. A beautiful pick, and luckily the kill goes into the hands of Jappa as well. We know Jappa is going to be the big damage dealer. We know he is going to carry things forward, so they do feel good. Anarchy maybe wants to contest for this turtle. Indo does move on to Alex. The Numenon Blast comes out, followed up with that road manipulation, and Alex has the freedom to move it on to Ziggy. Indo secures the turtle, though, and Alex will go down. I'm pretty sure Jappa picks up that kill.
But all while that was happening, Lunox securing mid lane turret, like the macro plays by the side of Anarchy, and then carry. Oh, T-Rex.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look. Anarchy is playing the map very well. Tamal with an iron hook will go down. UA, there's no escape from that. And that is going to be that big burst damage onto Soy Play. Soy Play using the brilliance to get away, but New Wave will take that tower. They still catch up to Soy Play. The hook misses, but a double kill goes into the hands of Indo. Jordan coming around the back with the Fallen Star Moon. Alex testing the distance, maybe wants to engage this, but they decide to back off. Anarchy knows the gold lead isn't too bad, but New Wave is now capitalized and move forward in this gold lead. Towers are in the hands of New Wave right now, but only one. Anarchy is not out just yet.
Yeah, to be honest, once New Wave hits the mid game, Jappa is going to be taking off. Ziggy is going to be taking off. Anarchy needs to dodge these hooks. Oh my! Oh, I thought maybe in a game. Jappa in trouble.
Oh, Alex. Oh, the Bloody Hunt comes in time. The Numenon Blast flicker, and Franco will take a lot, but the World Manipulation is here. Yue taking out from Jappa. Jappa's just too fed. Wants to keep on pushing Indo. Now holding the map, babe. Ziggy getting attacked by Jordan, and Soy Play in the bottom of the map. This could be rough. Now Indo is alone between 3 members, trying to do a little bit of bush work. Jappa keeping the distance. Wants to keep him at bay. Help Yuna. Yuna taking a lot of damage. Does get immobilized, but Jappa cannot get the finish. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but New Wave showing their escapability. Dog Tour in the bottom lane, taking another tower.
The macro plays, man, like the good old debate practice, just allowing other lanes to be pushed in and kind of holding out as much as possible. We do see the conflict going right now, T-Rex.
Oh man, I thought for a second we were gonna see if that Numenon Blast would have connected on the Jappa, Anarchy would have had it, but he was able to use that second skill to get a bit of distance out of the flicker. Numenon. New Wave now starting to work on this Lord. Anarchy may want to contest this. Let's keep our eyes on Alex. The road manipulation does come up, but it gets stopped. Ziggy gets knocked up. Maul gets shredded down. Craxy gets the kill, but UA's also been taken out. Indo does collect the Lord, and now New Wave seems to actually be on the run. Indo very low on health. Alex keeps on chasing. He wants more, but Jappa's here. Will he get that passive strike? Is he gonna be able to get the finish? Alex goes down. A beautiful pick from Jappa there, and now New Wave feels comfortable. They want to push forward. Craxy forced to run away here. Craxy does move on, but Soy Play goes down. Ziggy able to pick up that kill. Lord now marching down the bottom lane. Ziggy is alone, needs to get away from Craxy before he picks him up. Ziggy back to base, but the Lord still coming forward.
Dude, the Lord was MVP in that clash there. not for the side of New Wave, but a little bit on an Anarchy. New Wave still securing the Lord. By the side of Anarchy, they're being a little thirsty and doing a little bit too much chasing, to be honest. And New Wave's capitalizing on that.
Yeah, New Wave just gets another pick on the side. Lord coming in. UA with the Bulwark Shield. Real Manipulation does come out, and this is going to give them this tower. New Wave knowing they are a force to be reckoned with. Watch Jordan in the bottom of this bush. Does have the fallen star moon, not able to connect it though. Now we have Dr. working up on this top tower as the Lord inches closer, but New Wave wants to go for the split push, trying to get some pressure up on this top, possibly the mid. They do have a wave still coming. Jordan caught in between 3 members. Are we going to see a little bit of action here? The Bloody Hunt does come down, and Jordan is deleted. Newman on blast gets stopped by the Iron Hook, and Yue is also deleted. Jappa with the unstoppable kill. This could be bad. 2 waves of minions on opposite sides. Tamal moves to the front while the rest of the team goes to the bottom. The inhibitor is trying to make it up. No, Alex, you're taking down another Monster Hill. Kill goes into the hands of Jappa. 9, 1, and 7. The gold laner right now is on fire.
He is an absolute monster right now. If we could get an item check, he has to have. Absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, and he's building even more physical attack here. Jappa is going to be going probably for... I wouldn't
Malefic.
like maybe a demon. Yeah, Malefic.
Going for the Malefic roar, man. He's already locked in with the Blade of Despair, endless battle. He's going right into the Malefic roar just to really burst down. It's gonna help him deal with that Esmeralda, right? It's gonna help him deal with this
10K gold.
With this tank Karina. The man is a monster, and I talked about in the very beginning the importance of gold laners. Another Iron Hook on to Jordan. He has deleted the Numenon blast. Does come in though. Indo brought low, but the sustainability is there. He's going to be able to escape this. Tamal with another hook does whip it. The Brilliance comes out to help get Soy Play to safety, but Dr. wants to chase down. Gets the kill, and now they're going to keep moving forward. Jappa with another kill onto Craxy. This could be bad. Iron Hook onto Alex. Ziggy now playing the distance. Jappa also putting more damage, immobilized on Alex, and Alex will get picked off. Yue, the only one standing left. New Wave may not even have to focus in on this Lord, but they're going to play it smart. They're going to keep it real. Have Indo work on this Lord, or the rest of the team tries to chip away at these inhibitors.
Tamal is just... We need like a hook percentage counter, because...
Yeah, it's rough. It's definitely a rough way. A little low. Indo has.
I thought he was actually going to go down there.
It was cool. I mean, right now,
I was suspecting them to be aggressive right now. You know, like I guess they're waiting for Lord though.
They're just keeping it smart, man. And I think it's a good habit to be in. And this shows the professionalism of New Wave. This shows this is like the vet. This is what I meant when I say they're veterans, they're experienced. They're gonna play smart even when they're 10K gold ahead.
Yeah, my expectation was be aggressive there. I mean, you got the gold lead, but they're just gonna, like you were saying, strategic, and they're just going with the Lord.
Yeah, and this Lord could be it. Jordan getting chunked away. The Lord is close to the end. Yue's deleted. Jappa with the legendary kill. Real Nation does come out. The base is down to 50%. Anarchy trying to defend, but Alex is off the map, and next will be Jordan, and the base is last. New Wave taking game 1 of the series.
GG's.
GG's.
GG's. I like 100%. The combination of Jappa and Tamal, the Franco, never missing a hook. If there was a hook miss, I'm not even going to count it.
Yeah, there definitely wasn't a lot. But the real person we got to focus on here, right? Jappa. 12, 1, and 11. This is
40%. 88%.
He needs to be a target. He's got to be a target, man. 40% damage is insanity, right? Like, look at Ziggy did 21, 14, 8. Jappa with 40%. And even Dogtor started, he had a rough beginning because Anarchy kind of focused on him. They knew that Esmeralda was going to have trouble with him. So Alex rotated down there, picked up a kill or two, right? But New Wave knew the winning strategy. We just need to keep Craxy down, get Jappa fed, and he will carry us to victory.
Yep. And that's what I was saying from the very beginning. You gotta watch out for it. I was actually surprised they didn't target Jappa really hard in that first Panda pick to ban phase. So it was interesting. Coming round 2 here though, you might want to target him.
Yeah, I mean, do you just, like, what do you do? I mean, I've seen it. Like, we've seen it in World Championships. We've seen things like just direct bans onto a player. Like, take out everything. The Beatrix, the Wanwan, the Clint, the Aerithil. Just get rid of it all. Let's see how deep his hero pool goes. I don't know if Anarchy's gonna pull that here, though. I mean, it's not completely uncommon. I think maybe more of just focus on him in the game, right? Get your EXP laner set to where he can deal with whatever he's going up against. And that way you can focus on the gold lane.
Yeah, I think maybe focusing on Dog Tours Die Roth, just because Esmeralda was going to have a tough time in the early. They could have possibly did a rotation, kind of just like Joppa and Dog Tour did in the early. Once they took the tower, they rotated lanes. They Esme might have needed to go to like face clan a little bit, put a little bit of pressure onto Joppa there.
Yeah, and you know, Anarchy's definitely played really well, right? Like Alex on that Karina in the early game was phenomenal. So I think if they can keep up that pace and just switch their positions, they could do well. But before we jump into the next game, we now have a word from Anarchy.
Representing Team Anarchy from North America. Through the power of friendship, our team has formed an unbreakable bond that would hopefully take us all the way to the top. A small shout out to my YouTube channel where I live stream every day, and a big shout out to the staff and fans of NACT for making all this happen. Thank you.
Yo, the unbreakable bond of friendship and family. That's, I mean, I'm an anime fan, you know, I'm a weeb, and those are the things that just hit me to the heart. I might just become a fan of Anarchy. I mean, that's a big order, man. Unbreakable bonds of friendship and family.
I'm pretty sure I heard T-Rex like shedding a tear back there when he heard that, dude. I was like, it was just like, huh.
I've been touched. I've been honestly touched to the heart. So let's see if Yue can help his team, right? Let's see. Anarchy is down 1. If you're just coming in, this is New Wave up against Anarchy. The second draft, New Wave is up 1 game right now.
Yeah, New Wave handled that last game really well. Ended it the second Lord, you know, not too bad. Ended it pretty early. Let's see if Anarchy, they're learning. Now they're target banning. They're not just banning. They're not just banning to ban now, just throwing out bans as fast as possible. Get rid of that Franco. It's kind of hard to ban Joppa just because of how wide his like hero pool is.
Yeah, it's true. Like the Clint can be a fallback. He can play the carry. Like even if you get rid of the Beatrix and this and that, he always has another fallback marksman. Like you would literally need to use 3 to 4, maybe even all 5 of your bans to really limit him down. And then what are you left with, right? So it's something, but they have gotten rid of the Franco, and Tamal was a problem on that. I don't think you really I think they just need to kind of try to get some picks onto Joppa in the early game. Focus on that. New Wave focuses hard on the gold lane, and maybe Anarchy needs to match them there. Try to maybe even bait them into something. Let them think they're gonna come and get the gold lane and ambush them from that bush, right?
Yeah, no, definitely the positioning is going to be key here to take down the gold lane. We can see how, and sometimes you're gonna have to be sneaky about it too, because Tamal's everywhere. And the vision from New Wave is just, it's hard to dodge. It's hard to dodge, and we've seen it. Anarchy's gonna have to, again, like I said, they're gonna have to be on their P's and Q's. Like they're gonna have to watch the map non-stop here, getting rid of the Eve. These are all target bans by the side of Anarchy right now. Are they gonna secure the Xavier first, since they left it open this time? And then is that New Wave baiting them into the Xavier?
I do, you know, I mean, I don't think New Wave's, I don't know if you can really bait someone in the Xavier unless you have like a really good Natalia or something that can get to that back line really well. But right now, from what I'm seeing, Anarchy is just completely target banning, right? Like this is probably, we don't see this a lot of teams, and I enjoy seeing this. It means things are now getting shaken up a little bit. Maybe this is what Anarchy needs. I'm a little iffy about the thought moves, but Indo did play phenomenal on it. New Wave not changing too much up, taking out the Masha, the Julian, their Faramis, right? You mentioned the Xavier, it's open. We still have the Franco is off, so we still have the Kai, Kufra, other tank options. But definitely we're gonna see a different game than what we saw in game 1.
Yeah, we still got a bomb on. Ooh, the Valentina though.
Oh, we forgot.
Such a strong pick. She's always banned, so you never know. But Karina and Esme, pretty much the same exact picks that Anarchy picked last time, but on the side of New Wave. I'm so the Valentina though.
Yeah, the Valentina, but the Esmeralda and the Carry are solid picks. Like, they're definitely solid picks. And I think that Anarchy approached it right in a sense of like helping the Esmeralda get the lead in the XP lane, but it just was too much attention down there. Now they do have this Valentina who does pretty well, right? Like, Valentina, there's a reason why she gets banned all the time. And you remember in game 1 when the shots were just getting fired, bans, picks, they were just happening. Now, Anarchy taking their time, and New Wave still feeling pretty comfortable. Like, they were quick with those picks. They knew exactly, like, all right, we're going to give you this, and we're going to take these. The Uranus now getting picked up. Hold on.
Two mages.
Are we going to see a support Valentina? Support? Possibly. It's not unheard of. Like,
it's not.
It's on the Zayas tier list, man. It's on the Zayas.
Yeah.
Could also be a gold lane, maybe.
I mean, could be EXP. To be honest, you know, Valentina is one of those diverse heroes. You know, like she can be put anywhere in the needs of time. You know, so I think the time's gonna tell here. I mean, last 2 picks will definitely be able to tell, but they do pick up Claude, and then they ban out Beatrix. So they're now on the side of New Wave. They're targeting marksmans. They knew that Joppa was probably going to be target banned in these next 2 bans. They're getting their bans out, or their picks out early.
Yeah, and I think New Wave know. They feel so comfortable with Joppa, right? They feel so comfortable with whatever hero he picks, I feel like. So I think now let's test Craxy, right? Like, let's stick him back in to that carry pick that we just shredded. Let's stick him back into something that we know we can bully in the early to mid game, right? So I'm still wondering, with UA picking this up and he's staying on it, this has got to be a Rome Valentina. I think we have seen it one time in the NACT, because I feel like I was very surprised when I saw it before. Maybe it was just a scrim. A lot of games. We watch a lot of games, G. So, but I do want to say that is the solid pick. I do like the Uranus pick into the Esmeralda. I think he does really well. More bans coming out. Lunox getting picked off. Getting rid of some of that possible tank shreddingness from New Wave.
Yeah, the Uranus is like the only pick that I would say that's available at least right now that can at least sustain and stay up with Dog 4 here. Tomorrow picking up a Hilda.
I like it, and this is the versatility. This is the versatility, G. This is what New Wave brings to the table, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think again the Hilda pick is to counter the Xavier. The New Wave is gonna be all up in person. They're gonna be in everyone's face and just trying to control the field. Like, they're gonna be aggressive this time around. I can feel it. Like, the side of Anarchy, their win condition is they just gotta they gotta play passive. They have to allow the Xavier to get online. Is definitely are they forced to go to the carry though? They're pretty tanky on the side of New Wave, but they decide to go for the Clint. Yeah, they're gonna have to try and stop New Wave from being their face.
If they pick up this Alice, it's just like you mentioned, just dive in your face. That would just really like, listen, we're gonna all jump to your back line, and that is it. The Alice gets picked up. Now, I like the Akai pick from Alex here, right? I think it will do amazing. If he can do it right, it should do amazing against the Esmeralda. It should do amazing against the Karina. It should help against pretty much the whole team. It should be able to it should really be beneficial against all of New Wave. Anytime any of them try to jump in, the Blazing Duet, the Blood Ode, any of those things, Akai with that heavy spin should be able to turn some of these team fights around. But I just feel like that puts a lot of weight onto Alex's shoulders, right? We did see him perform very well in game 1. So will he be able to take the pressure and lead his team to victory here?
He's gonna have to. I mean, you're looking at a very dive heavy comp from New Wave here. So Anarchy's gonna have to play back. They're gonna again be more on the cautious foot, seeing if they can get those single picks with a dive heavy spin, you know? Like, that's gonna be what they have to do here in order to scale.
5 seconds till the enemy reaches
This
the
could be
battlefield.
it.
Smash
Anarchy
them.
up against New Wave, game 2, best of 3. Definitely excited for this one. Can Anarchy rise from that game 1 loss and possibly get the reverse sweep, or will New Wave finish this right here, right now?
I'm really wanting to see how Tamal does on this Hilda. The Hilda pick, kinda counter to Xavier, kinda counter to the Valentina pick. not giving the side of Anarchy any real like picks that Valentina can take to make sets. You know, like she doesn't have much to take from the Alice. Not too much. I mean, you got have the ultimate that has the wide area of effect, but doesn't really do much control. No one on the side of New Wave has too much control, and they're not going to allow Anarchy to have that as well.
Yeah, I think New Wave's putting a lot into the idea of just bursting down, diving in, getting to the back lane, cleaning up this Xavier, cleaning up, I mean, that's cleaning up the Clint, hopefully, in the late game, and then it's just should be easy to get rid of some of the rest, right? The problem is I don't think we've seen Alice in the mid lane for a very long time. She's going to be slow to get her gold. It's going to be a while till she really gets to the point she needs to.
Yeah, but the biggest thing that I've noticed about the new changes to the Land of the Dawn is that the mid lane has more minions, which allows her to get more stacks.
This is true. I mean, she will. That's actually a good point, and it could make the difference here, right? It could possibly change
her
something.
to scale. Yeah.
We are seeing a little bit of possible action. Indo coming in, gets caught up by the minion, decides to back off. New Wave, keeping it safe. Indo's going to move in on this turtle, and look at Jordan. He feels comfortable. He's like, I know there's two of you here, but I'm a Uranus, and we are not worried, all right? I'm one of the most sustainable heroes in the game.
Yeah, the side of New Wave, I'm gonna we're gonna see some really good positioning here. Oh, already putting a lot of face pressure onto Yuawi there. Let's see what they can do on this first turtle here, T-Rex.
Dog Tour is coming down. The Fallen Star Moon does not connect, but Tamal keeping this Xavier at bay. Dog Tour very low, though. The heavy spin comes in. Ziggy is pushing against the wall. Dawning Light comes. Alex secures the turtle, and Dog Tour goes down. Craxy picks up the kill. Tamal now on the run, does get knocked up. Yue chasing him down. Able to steal that power of wilderness. Indo now very low health, along with Tamal and Anarchy controlling the map with a turtle and a kill.
Yeah, from the side of Anarchy, it looks like they're just more trying to put a lot of pressure. Look, they're already invading. If they can keep up this pressure on New Wave, it could smell trouble for New Wave. We're seeing that the side of Anarchy is kind of breaking that flow up that New Wave normally gets. You know, they're making them spread out, and they're just not able to get together to be able to get these easy ganks.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Anarchy, we wanted to see them be a bit more aggressive. We wanted to see them bring it, and that's what we're seeing. And the Akai lets them do that. If they can keep stealing these blue buffs away from Indo, it's going to help out. And the heavy spin, we just saw it in action. We saw the problem it's going to bring to New Wave in these team fights. And as long as Alex can keep up what he just did at that last turtle fight, they should be able to keep moving strong. Alex bringing the heavy spin into Ziggy. Ziggy trying to pop the blood out, but is under the tower and will be taken down. That is a great pick for Alex.
I like the approach that Anarchy's going. You know, my first initial ideal was to go a little slower, play back. But again, we see that they need to be aggressive here, and they are. And I like that their approach is actually changing from what my opinion was. As we can see here, the insane Kai play, the heavy spin coming in such clutch, and that just happens to be because of the positioning of Alex here. Coming in, bam! Well, heavy spin pushes them all the way back 2 towers.
Oh, and now once again, Alex moving on to Tamal. Tamal way too deep. We wanted him to be aggressive, but maybe not this aggressive, not this overextended. Tamal goes down. Indo trying to move on to Craxy, but the immobilized locks in. Craxy re-engaging Indo. Now caught with the heavy spin and taken down. Another kill going into the hands of Alex. 2-0-2.
It kind of seems like New Wave is being just too aggressive. Like, I know that you had that aggressive comp, and that was what you were trying to do here, but what you were saying earlier, T-Rex, the Kai, the heavy spin, the displacement, like they're controlling the wave of New Wave.
Controlling the wave of New Wave. That is not something we want to hear, but honestly, I love to see it. Anarchy staying strong, showing that they want to bring this to the best of 3. New Wave does need to step back. I feel like they have a nice late game composition still. Jappa has not taken any deaths. You have Tamal, who can be tanky, Ziggy. Like, a lot of these are late game heroes, so New Wave needs to hit the brake a little bit and maybe slow down. Craxi
Well,
may
they
go
are putting
down.
pressure.
Tamal taken out. Craxi picks up that kill. Jappa luckily does secure one on to Craxi, but was that really worth it this late in the first phase of this game? Blazing Duet comes down. Jappa does do some nice plays on a soy play. Able to get that mirror image, get away. Indo now here, rocking the bush. Does not make a play. New Wave decides to back off. Anarchy still holding the lead though.
Those micro plays by Jappa are just so hard to handle. And we can just see it, just the plays right there alone, we're showing it. But we are going to be looking at some items here. We do see the Claude picking up Demon Hunter already, going for more of a defensive item on the side of Claude next to, probably to counter the problem that he's having with the Clint here. The Clint picking up a lot of crit damage, so trying to eat away at that front line, and that could also smell trouble for the side of New Wave, having such a strong backline that's like that. And ooh.
The stun comes in, Blood Oda's out, and the kill will go to Ziggy. Down goes Craxi. That's 2 deaths once again, and this is a strategy that New Wave brings in time and time again. We're gonna focus in, we're gonna herd down on this gold lane. Yue may be the next target, but Alex is here. Watch out for the heavy spin, he misses it. He checks the bush, Tamal gets away, but New Wave finally picking up something, picking up some pieces, and diminishing the gold difference between them and Anarchy.
Yeah, and to be honest, from the side of Anarchy, they're doing really well in this early comp. Like they're, again, they were invading the jungles of the side of Indo, and I feel like they need to continue to do that. I feel like they're lacking a little bit onto how much pressure and how much control they were doing in the early, but we do see
Ooh, Blazing Duet comes down, but Craxi will pay the price. Alex now on the run. Indo, Tamal, Bert the dive. Ziggy is also there. Dawning Light comes out to try to help out, but it's not enough. Yue will go down. New Wave is starting to be aggressive. We saw this in game 1. They were falling behind in the first few minutes. Right after that 6-minute mark, that mid-game comes in and New Wave bounces back.
I did just see Jappa pick up the golden staff. I think he might be coming online right now. 3-0-1. I don't think this is what you wanted on the side of New Wave. I mean, Anarchy doesn't want this on the side of New Wave. And we can see it. I mean, again, they're rotating around Jappa. They know that they were having a little bit of trouble, but feed him!
Oh, completely deleted. Craxi goes down, and Yue will be next. I'm watching Ziggy in this bush, and I'm just seeing those 2 walk up. And I'm like, y'all don't even know there's 5 of them down here right now. New Wave with a beautiful pick. Now Alex gonna move on, take this turtle. At least he gets something, but New Wave is hungry. They take another tower, the tier 3 in the mid lane. New Wave pushing in, Tamal now down onto the bottom, just shredding away at the base of Anarchy.
And now we're seeing that the side of Anarchy is falling off a tad, mainly because, again, like I was saying, like they were being pretty aggressive in the early, and they kind of slowed down on that, you know. Now they're going into the strategic comp that I was suspecting. Play back, kind of bait them into something. Don't bait yourself into something.
Yeah, I mean, I think Anarchy needs to maybe group up a bit more. They're getting a bit too picked off. 2 of them go down, and New Wave has really just pocketed up. They know where they shine in this game, and they're coming down, but now New Wave is caught between, or surrounding several members of Anarchy. The heavy spin comes in, but that Winter Truncheon saves Ziggy from destruction. We'll keep on pushing. Jordan very low. Alex will be next. The Dawning Light comes out. It is enough to take down Ziggy, but Alex has already gone down. Jordan continuing to chase sustainability is there, but look at Indo down here on the bottom. Wants to move in. Onto Craxi. Does get the immobilized, and 3 members of Anarchy are just hiding, huddling, homing in under this tower, trying to survive against the onslaught of New Wave. Jordan has been keeping them at bay, though I have to say he is also not taking any deaths, and he could be the saving grace of Anarchy.
Yeah, and it's coming down to the side of Anarchy right now. Is the only person that really can make a set play is Alex. Like, they don't have a lot of control.
Oh, deleted. You know, there's nothing to even say. That's the power of wildness. Even with her being tanky, she can just shred down on these squishies. Jordan, don't get too crazy here. You do have that sustainability, but you are against 2. He is defending the tower, though, very well. Dog Tor keeping Alex. Alex pushing the engage, decides not to do it. Anarchy starting to slow down a bit, knowing that they can't just take these fights head on.
Yeah, this is what I suspected from early on. From the side of New Wave, I did catch something. They're staying in pairs of 2. quite often, and then they rotate into those pairs of two. Oh.
Heavy spin does come in. Doctor going low. Tamal getting pushed back to the base, but the damage just isn't enough. New Wave controlling the Lord pit. Jordan now coming in, but the Lord is very low. Ziggy also here to help zone out as Indo takes the Lord. Jordan now on the run. Dawning Light comes out, does connect onto Indo, and Doctor for Ziggy with the flicker, the stun. UA does go down. Alex now trying to stop them, keep them at bay, but New Wave will not stop. Jordan very, very low. Lord marching down the bottom. New Wave controlling dominance with a 5K gold lead.
Yeah, by the side of Anarchy, they really need to just defend now. Like they're gonna have to get some of those micro plays of capturing some of the creeps in the jungle, but they're gonna have to defend. Like, and the one thing that I'm really seeing a lot is Craxy's always alone by himself. There's not really anybody that's there to kind of help him, and while all of New Wave collapses in on him.
Yeah, they have no peel. Maybe it's, I think maybe Alex needs to stay back a bit, right?
Look.
On the Sakai. They need someone to peel for that back line, but at this point, it may be too late. Luckily, they do shred down that Lord. Craxy, even with 4 deaths, and I say this about Clintz a lot, even taking some death, Clintz can still end up outputting some damage a lot earlier than some other marksmen that take some deaths in the early game.
Yeah. I think on the side of Anarchy now going into the mid game, they're just lacking in damage. Like New Wave has just become thick.
You know, this could be the first loss for Valentina, possibly. She's 100% win rate. We have seen Anarchy actually, we've seen this strategy with them before, and I'm not discounting the Rome Valentina, but they do lose a little possibilities. And honestly, I felt like Anarchy's composition was very, very solid. I think they just needed to know that, like, that mid game came, we need to back off a bit and not let New Wave catch us off guard.
Yeah, I mean, we do see that the side of New Wave isn't really too worried about a lot of the magic damage from the side of Anarchy here. We do see a lot of dominance ice being built, so they're trying to counter some of the healing of Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, and Ziggy, we haven't seen the Alice in ages, let alone Alice in mid lane, and Ziggy has been dominating with it. That flicker play with the Blood Ode and the second skill stun. Tamal does get caught up by UA, but he is pretty tanky, and he is not worried because he knows Ziggy and the rest of the team are here to have his back. Heavy spin does come in. Tamal is a fast boy right now, able to get away. Jordan does not want to let it go, but Ziggy back catches UA. In comes the rest of the team, though, is going to keep them at bay. Tamal just dancing. Look at him move around this map. The Fallen Star Moon does come down. Dogtor wants to force this engage. Diggy and Indo are both here. Anarchy, every time it seems like they're catching a bit of an advantage in these big team fights, get pushed back more and more. Luckily, the blue buff does go to the side of New Wave, and now they moved in onto Jordan. Jordan instantly deleted a mega kill going into the hands of Indo. 2 members of Anarchy make that 3, a mega kill into Jappa, all for the price of Zig. And to me, that's a good trade.
Again, Jappa is just the micro play right there, diving in there and taking out this Xavier. Like, they know that they have to have some type of back peel, and they have it. They have it. Jappa right there. Bam. Easy peasy.
Not only that, like Tamal, the way he's just baiting them in, like every time, he's able to buy enough time wherever his team is on the map. He can buy enough time for the rest of them to come in and then force the fight. I mean, the way he just danced around that blue buff for so long and then waits, all the rest of his team are finally there, and it's all right, now we're going to do this. And we got them in the jungle right where we want them, able to make huge plays. 12-7, New Wave with a large gold lead, looking very similar to game 2 here.
Yeah, you could definitely tell when the shot was called and everybody collapsed in after stealing that blue buff. Like, they just, like, all of New Wave came out of nowhere and absolutely collapsed on Anarchy. But we do have the Lord pushing T-Rex.
Yeah, Lord is closing in. The Fallen Star Moon does connect in the back, splitting them up a little bit. Alex, in between all 5 members, will get shut down. The rest of the team now collapsing on top of UA. One by one, they fall. New Wave coming in. They want to take it. They want to go. They're going to make it to the top 4. New Wave stands tall.
GG, New Wave. Great job trying to hold in there, Anarchy. But New Wave taking the dub.
New Wave has just secured their spot in the top 4. Definitely huge. All they need is, another win, 2 more wins. They make it to getting some money, right? And they definitely look promising. Anarchy, though, man. It wasn't an easy challenge, right? Like, you went up against the team that beat Area 77. You went up against a team that is definitely now a favorite in a lot of the eyes of viewers and fans. And yes, they lost 0-2, but I got to give props to Alex with some amazing plays. Jordan, all of them. They definitely made it. I mean, you made it to top 8, and a lot of the teams that we thought were going to make it here did not.
That is true. That is very true. That is the truest statement I've ever heard.
Looking at this, though, Jappa, though, he's going to be a problem. I think in this top 4, 5-0-9, he took 1 death in a total of 2 series. Whoever goes against New Wave in the top 4, you need to do something about Jappa, man, because New Wave knows the rest of the team can die in the early game, the first 5 minutes. If Jappa goes without any deaths until that second item lock-in, until the 6th or 7th minute, it's GG's.
I was actually surprised he wasn't harassed enough, but again, like he was like just like a slippery snake. He was so well oiled you couldn't catch him. He was just slipping through all the cracks.
Slippery snake is right. Tamal as well. I mean, Tamal just dancing around on that Hilda. And I said it in the beginning. I'll say it. I said it before the second match, and I'm going to say it again at the end. The versatility. It is a problem. It is something that I think a lot of teams lack in North America, right? A deep hero pool, willing to change. Like, they didn't even have to change things up. They dominated in game 1, but they decided to come with a completely different strategy in game 2 and still just show up, G.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at these types of tournaments, like you have to have a hero pool, because like as someone is in Jappa's spot, like they could target all of his bands. They could use all 5 bands, but there would still at least be 1 marksman he would still be able to excel at, and the team being able to captivate on.
Definitely, I'm excited for the top 4, man. We're seeing a lot of teams rise up, and New Wave looks very good. But before we go any farther, before we go to a cut, or before we go into the next series, we do have a guest from New Wave coming in for the interview. Tell me who this is right now.
This is Andy, the jungler, IND.
Indo, we've been calling you Indo. Is that all right?
You guys can just call me anything you'd like.
How are you doing? How are you feeling after that victory?
I feel really good, really good. It was a nice game.
Yeah.
All right.
What was your strategy going into that second game?
That second game, right? So I feel like we were trying to open a few more picks because we were second pick. And so we didn't know whether to like open the Julian or open the Xavier, but we ended up letting them get Valentina because we knew that they were gonna go tank Valentina because they usually do that, and one of their mains was Xavier, so we just like picked around that. We picked up the Karina and the Esme, which is really strong start, as Juan said. So it's all Juan's idea.
Yeah, I mean, you guys never seem to amaze us with some of the picks you bring. How you just fearfully jump into a draft or a ban and into a game, and what some of us would see as questionable, you guys make it happen. Indo, how long have you been with the team? How do you feel about the future of the team? Tell us a little bit about you and New Wave.
This is really just my first month with them, actually, because they needed NA players. So Juan contacted me right before the tournament started, and he was like, you want to come with us? And I'm like, sure. And so here we are.
So
That's
are
awesome.
you going to be a permanent fit into New Wave? Are you someone that we keep on casting on? Give us the tea.
I'm not quite sure, but there are some things that are going to be happening. That's all I can say.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Any last comments from you? Anything to the top 4 teams? Do you guys feel like this tournament's yours?
Everyone is just so strong in my opinion on the top 4. So I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing the games and to playing against the top 4 teams. And yep, that's probably all.
Any last questions from you, G?
I think we enjoyed seeing what you guys put down there. We appreciate you giving an interview to us, Andy.
Of course. Yeah. Have a great day,
Thank you so much
guys.
for joining us, Andy.
You as well.
We'll see you guys in the top 4. Super excited to see how you perform.
See ya.
All right, we got some words. We had a great best of 3. Definitely excited for the next one. Before we go any farther, we got to give it back to our wonderful, talented, amazing Assassin Dave.
Thank you, T-Rex, or should I say Trex Senpai. Make sure to follow our incredible casters on the social media. What a nice match. Last game from New Wave. You know, before the whole series started today, I was talking to the caster, talking to Aiko, talking to Trax, and they were talking to me about New Wave being one of the most organized upcoming stars in North America. And today, you get to see exactly why. You know, what a team, what a performance. Just like the casters correctly pointed out, I think from New Wave, we see very traditional band picks, not too much surprising picks, not too much out of the ordinary, but yet we see a very clean textbook executions on all the games. And that's something you really expect in the highest level of gameplay in Mobile Legends esports, especially in North America, the best of the best. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have another best of the 3 series. The Valley take on Team Sexy, some familiar names that you heard about in North America. 2 strongest team, or 2 of the strongest teams in North America, gonna clash in the next best of 3 to find out who will remain and who will be packing their stuff in their own home. I don't know, that doesn't really make any sense, but who will be knocked out today? We'll find out right after a short break. And when we come back, we have a giveaway code for all of our North American viewers for 100 free diamonds. So make sure to do not go anywhere, because we're gonna take a very short break. Get your popcorn, get your soda, again, get yourself comfortable. We'll be back after this break. See you guys soon.
I, Starscream, am now the leader of the Decepticons.
Do as I command.
Yes, Master.
Less talk, more work. Autobot presence detected. Megatron, do you read? I'll crush you with my bare hands. Autobots, roll out!
We'll give them the fight of their lives.
They must be terminated.
Prime told me there'd be days like this.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Join them in extinction! You wrong, and you ugly too! Dinobot, attack! Decepticons, retreat!
You are a fool, Megatron. Starscream in pursuit.
Prioritize turrets. I've got morons on my team. You fail me yet again, Starscream.
Old friend, you keep this planet safe. You truly are a worthy Autobot. Good work.
I won't let you die. The game is more fun in co-op.
The M on his chest! That's the weak spot! By the way, I'm Wan.
Pleasure to fight with you, Wan. Call me Yin. Name's Link.
Congratulations, you have unlocked the bonus quest, Co-op Achieved. For the very first time, Emerald will grant you rewards that were never before seen.
Let's breaking the mirror. They shout and word. It doesn't matter whoever, however, wherever. We got nothing no more. You came from the shadow, she falls from the glow. Don't even need to know whoever we were before. We better than me, us better than me. Stay together, let it go. We better than me, us better than me. Stay together, let it go.
Nothing can stop them now. Not Leomord. Not even the mist.
An oath is an oath. Leomord won't leave us. We will fight together. Like 100 years ago.
For Richburg!
If this is our doom, I'll console myself we fought together. Necro Keep is where the light doesn't shine, they say. But we make our own light. We hold our ground!
Vexana, I did it!
Millions of millennia turn into this instant. You threat no one. To harmonize. For peace! A shift of space and time!
Dare to dream.
Well played to your new world champion of F1!
Rise to the challenge.
Red Esports are your F2 champions! Another world champion, Blacklist International!
The universe is yours. Are you ready to own the world?
Payback time. Feel my pain. I am driven by revenge. Nothing will stop my justice. Let us spread our wings. Nothing will stop my world.
Deadlight Spear!
Impressive!
I am back! My war never ends! Feel this! Welcome to Deadlight!
Legendary! Legendary!
Fleeted Fury!
Double kill!
Don't get in my way! Mind your own business! I dreamed about all my fallen comrades again!
Legendary!
Fleeted Fury! I, Starscream, am now the leader of the Decepticons!
Do as I command.
Yes, yes, Master!
Less talk, more work. Autobot presence detected.
up at the top. Not sure if they're really looking for an engagement here right now. Oh my gosh.
What a Johnson goes in with a wild charge, 5-3, and the instant follow-up there from the team. Jumping backwards, MPT liquid falling Starmoon, and that's the engage coming from the wild charge as Kale jumps in with a blazing duet, finding two, that's Sig taken down, and that is a disaster.
Those anti-objective pushes, I want to call them. Oh, a little bit of engagement here on the Bomby.
The Fatal Links connects there, but again, the time journey, perfectly timed by Meta. That's going to be low taken down. Enhanced chain onto Kale, and that's a kill picked up by Sirius. And take a look at the items. Ling has hit his power spike with the Berserker's Fury. He's going to be able to dish out so much damage. And again, Joybot on top of that goes taking away the dragon. He almost gets taken down, but man, Kid and Gino to the rescue. The fall again. He's doing so much for the team. He goes in once again, but he might get punished here. Dark goes up for Time's Rage, and that's a Vista strike to follow it through. Doesn't connect just yet. Lethal counter onto the backside as Kid jumps in, and that's the combo. Wombo regrets falls. Dark as well. Yeho is next, and that's all of the kills. Kind of pinned Ashley down. And again, Joybot going in. Where the dragon figured Yeho back. He just fires it at will. And Kid comes in to follow it through. Yeho caught low. Cold Ultra as well was popped. So Kid, he can just go in, dive. He doesn't care without any defensive items. He's godlike. Hunter bringing regrets back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the North America Challenger Tournament, the last match of the entire knockout stage, featuring the Valley take on Team Sexi. One last winner to go to the top 4 that will determine the grand final players or teams going to the final stage next week. Double elimination for the final stage. We cannot be more excited going into the upcoming weekend. But first, we have one best of 3. Like I said, Team Sexi versus Team Valley. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go into the caster's desk, we do have some surprises, some prizes for all the viewers in the chat right now. If you're from North America, if you're watching from United States or Canada, make sure to use the link in description and use the code showing on screen right now to get 100 free diamonds. Yes, to the courtesy of our developers, we're gonna get some generous gifts to all the viewers who are watching the stream right now from North America region to encourage the community to be more active, because NACT summer season is just the beginning, and we still have NACT Ultimate, we still have M4 NA qualifier, a lot more tournaments coming out to show the dedication of Moontown in the North America region to really develop the community locally. So we're going strong, and this is gonna be an awesome ride. I cannot wait for it. Ladies and gentlemen, while you're inputting the code, while you redeem the 100 diamonds, we're gonna go into the next match. The players are ready. I think our casters are ready. Before I hand it over to the caster's desk, make sure to follow our incredible casters, our handsome casters, one and only casters. This way, you can follow their future adventure on the Land of Dawn. AK Trek Senpai, AK G the Aiko, make sure to follow them. They make video consistently as well as stream consistently. And this is your chance to follow the best of the best, the coolest, the greatest, the baddest in North America. With that being said, I'm sending it over to our amazing caster's desk.
You know, G, this is a tough one. We were talking a little bit before we jumped back on the desk and everything, and the Valley versus Team Sexi. If I was gonna say that there was any poetic game, this is definitely it. Me and you have casted a lot of games for both of these teams. Both of these teams have been around for a while now, and Assassin Dave said it's going to be easy. This is probably going to be the hardest game I've casted in a bit, because we know one of these two teams has to go home tonight.
We do. And like you were saying, it's just like poetic justice, like it's something our souls don't want, but we have to look at it, man. And personally, I love both these teams. Like, I don't want to see either one of them go home, but one's gonna bite it.
One definitely has to. And I'm looking at the percentage on votes. As we were on break, I was looking at them, and we're at, I think, around 500 votes, and it is a 51-49 split. The Valley is in favorite with 51%, but I've never seen one this close. So let's jump in to the last game, the last series of the knockout stage. The Valley versus Team Sexi are up for the draft.
Yeah. And I mean, the Valley, I've seen them recently. They're hungry, but Team Sexy, like, in my own opinion, I feel like has strategic value. You know, like their team knows how to turn things around. They know how to like mess with the flow and the tide of another team. So, what do you think they're gonna bring to this, T-Rex?
You know, there's a lot of things we have to watch out for both teams, right? We have seen the side of Team Sexy. We've seen Best Player pick up the Karina a lot, the Ballman as well, both very popular picks. We even have seen him dabble in the Fanny and the Valley. Even though, like, I think when I watched the games of that, his Fanny wasn't, like, super impressive, but it was solid. He went 0 deaths. He wasn't super flashy, but Best Player was solid. Nicolette also has a pretty deep mage pool. We've even seen her fall back onto that Lao Yi, which is not a common pick, but she makes that Lao Yi beautiful. On the side of the Valley, Arvel on the Franco, dangerous. Guapsi on things like Ling. We've seen him on the Akai. We've seen him definitely destroy with a lot of different things. The Thamus, the Barats. I mean, another very versatile person and basic, definitely a fan favorite. Retri God, the man in the 100%. Gold lane, has been on fire.
Absolutely devastating on both teams. You know, like, again, like you were saying, I mean, what they're going right now, first ban pick. I mean, we're looking at the Fanny already getting out of there. You were just saying, like, the Fanny, like they're already targeting. Both these teams have faced each other multiple times on so many accounts that they're already starting to target ban. They don't need that first game. They're like, we already know what you're gonna bring to the table, Team Sexy, the Valley. But they are targeting this Franco here. Man, Nicolette is gonna be pretty insane on Team Sexy. My guess is maybe they were going to want to try to secure an Eve play, because they definitely need control on the side of the Valley.
Yeah, we definitely see some solid Eve plays. I mean, honestly, Eve has just always been a solid pick, and right now it's looking like that could be the open thing. The Valley taking out that Franco. Now, a little bit of a grudge match here too, right? A little bit of some broken hearts, some friendship. We have Gosu Best Player. We have JC, aka Gosu Yuzi, ex-Gosu member. We have, you know, these people, like you said, I couldn't have said it better. They've played against each other for so long. They've known each other. They know the ins and outs of both teams. The only thing is, I do have to say, Team Sexy, with their newer lineup, with the roster changes they've made, in that sense of things, they may have the slight advantage, a little bit more of a mystery to the Valley, whereas the Valley, we've been watching them for a while as this main five. We know what they like to run. We know what they do, and there goes that Eve ban for you,
That's what I was saying. I was telling you. I was like, if it's not going to be targeted, Nicolette's definitely going to secure it. But both teams kind of diversifying their bans right now. A mage, a fighter. We're looking at a little bit of a jungle here, a tank. So only mages have been like the huge target here. But they've taken a lot of the control out of the side on the Valley here. They're definitely got rid of the Franco, no suppression, got rid of the Eve, no real world manipulation, and now we're targeting the Julian here. I mean, the Wanwan's still open, Xavier's still open, but Wanwan's kind of been like one of those picks that are like, yeah, you know, like, is it gonna really hurt you or not, you know?
Honestly, that's a crazy thing, right? Wanwan hasn't really performed that well. Like, everyone was like, the Wanwan was consistently getting banned, but the reality is when she's gotten picked, she's lost some games. Like, we've now figured out that the Airthil is just a great counter to her. Works very well. Airthil, not the most popular pick, but we have found some use for her there. So the Wanwan, maybe not a super big threat. Raquel picking up this Xavier, definitely something we want to see. She's played it twice, gotten 2 MVPs with it, most kills on the team. Definitely a monster. Raquel's someone that the side of Team Sexy needs to watch out for.
Yeah, and what I'm thinking here, I mean, we're definitely seeing the teams think. Like, it's not like last game. They're just not throwing stuff out. But I do see the second pick team, once again, this is a third time in a row, a Karina and an Esmeralda.
And we've seen it. So it was 1 win, 1 loss, right? Last time Anarchy picked it up, they lost it. This definitely seems to be I mean, Esmeralda was having a lot of trouble in the meta for a while when the Dairoth came up, but it seems like a lot of teams have worked around that, figured it out, and she's back. She is a prio pick for many of teams. Best player has been loving this Karina as well, all the way since the last NACT. So it's definitely something we got to watch out for. But Arvel with the mystery, a lot of casters are still questioning it from what I hear, but I think it is a nice pick, especially in the hands of Arvel, the Fermis.
What I'm suspecting from the side of the Valley right now, and I've seen this a couple times, is that they pick the Fermis and then they go right into a Ling pick, you know, like Ling paired with Fermis just had you could dive a tower and survive the whole time and not even have to worry about you could walk to all of your Tempest of Blade swords, like you don't even need a dash.
Yeah, I mean, and he's the mobility, the sustainability. He does a lot of things. I mean, he does what you want any tank to do, and he's really found his place. And not only that, the sprint on him. Look at all these sprints on the side of the Valley. And all three of those, like, Fermi's already very mobile. Basic on this Claude, very mobile. Now when we look at the side, and I'm seeing angles, I'm seeing coming at you from all different directions, and looking at the side of Team Sexy right now, it's more of a straightforward thing, you know? We're gonna come in, we're gonna use this Croc to cause a little bit of disruption in your composition, and best player is gonna try to get some pickoffs. Maybe we see Esmeralda come over the wall with the Fallen Star Moon, try to make that mid-team fight play, but it seems a lot more straightforward than the side of the Valley right now.
Yeah, this is an interesting like way that they're approaching here. I enjoy that you're seeing from the side of Team Sexy, they're trying to ban out their counters, you know, definitely banning out the counters. One hero I haven't seen today is a Balmon. And I don't even think Balmon's ever been banned today as well. So, I mean, the Valley has two crazy picks that they can pick for the jungle. Being a Balmon, being an Akai, being a Ling, all with Wapsi excels at.
Yeah, and we saw how well New Wave did with we saw how well Anarchy could have done with the Akai, right? Like the Akai, whether they lost that game or not, the Akai would do well against the Esmeralda. It would do well against the Karina and even the Grok a little bit, right? So it's not, and me and you have both personally casted on a game where Guapsi has made some insane plays with an Akai, right? So I know it's there. It could be something we see. Essentially plenty of jungles open. What we have seen them limit is that EXP lane. Rimuru could be the possible carry, could be something that as long as she can maybe get ahead in the EXP lane, could help out the team a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, Gold wavering on this Brody. If Gold secures the Brody pick here, this is definitely 100% a comfort pick. So looking at the side of Gold, 4 gold on Team Sexy, just keep an eye on him. Like, this is something he excels at. 3 MVPs out of 6 games, you know, like that's a 50% MVP. Gold lane wins games.
Gold lane does win games. Something I want to point out here, Warrior, right? Let's have a quick little spotlight on the Warrior. The man has now, a lot of people are going to say this is a bad thing. Warrior has the most deaths in the NACT, right? 26 total deaths. But as a tank, I don't think that's a completely bad thing, especially since Team Sexy has won all their games until now, right? Like they've made it to the top 8. They could possibly be a candidate for top 4. So that's something I think sometimes we always worry about our tanks dying, but really that is their job, to die for the rest of the team, let the rest of the team get advantage. But Guapsi has picked up the Akai I was talking about. Could be a big problem. Nicolette dropping in onto the Sicilian, securing some nice possible late game damage. So it looks pretty straightforward once again for the side of Team Sexy. A nice front to back composition. You have your nice frontliners causing disruption. Gosu best player trying to maybe get into the back lane as Nicolette and Gold just fire missiles.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that I'm seeing here is that both teams are really thick. Like but on the side of the Valley, like they have the Cold Altar. Like that's gonna be what they're gonna be focusing their plays around, you know. And then I was even talking about it, the Ling, the Kai pick, all of those picks are like comfort picks by Guapsi. So we're definitely gonna have to keep an eye out on how they're utilizing this Cold Filter, how Guapsi's rotating as an Akai, as well, again, like I was saying, we got to keep an eye on gold on the side of Team Sexy. There's definitely some crazy plays. It's definitely going to be coming down to positioning here. Everybody's kind of going into their one way here. Who do you got your money on, T-Rex?
I don't know. We will see. We will see, because this is the Valley up against Team Sexy. We're still at a 50-50 split on who the fans think is going to take this game. Like I said, this will be the heartbreaker game of the North American Challengers Tournament. The Valley up against Team Sexy game 1. And if you asked me, it's tough. You mentioned the Cult Altar, Arvel. You mentioned the Cult Altar, and that could be the game changer. If Team Sexy can maybe get some aggressive first picks early on, it could be their way to victory. Warrior may go down here. They need to be careful for Guapsi. They need to be careful for Raquel. They need to be careful for all of them. Both teams need to be on their P's and Q's right now.
Yeah, and the one thing that I'm seeing here is that their Guapsi's already baited out Warrior's Flicker. So we're already seeing like utilizations of battle spells already, as well as Arvel already had to utilize that sprint early on as well. They were definitely trying to captivate on an early lead, secure that first blood, but it was just a little bit shy. Definitely, you can see the damage output. Rotations down to the gold lane. They have to be listening to us, man. Like I'm telling you, this is what you need to focus on. Gold's going to be your biggest problem here.
Yeah, especially, I mean, Gold is definitely a monster around him. Nicolette, best player. They definitely carried some games, but I like the Valley's approach right now. They're sticking together. Heavy spin. Talk about an approach. Warrior may go down here. Will get first blood, and that goes to Raquel. The Valley securing that.
See, that's the micro plays that I'm talking about. The team knew they baited out Warrior's battle spell. Flicker already gone. Overextended into the mid lane. Couldn't really get away. Not even level 4 yet. Was able to secure that easy first blood.
And Arvel's now going to get this pull from, Ritmaru able to get away. Turtle is up now, and Team Sexy doesn't want to let that death slow them down. Warrior back in the game. A nice wall coming out to slow Raquel down, but we do have JC up in the top, maybe trying to make a steal here. Best player does go low. Will get the turtle. Is he going to be able to escape this? JC on the chase, and the flicker comes in. Best player goes down. The Valley now leading 2-0. They lose a turtle, but they get a kill onto the jungler.
Yeah, and I mean, we're looking at like this is gonna be an interesting game. It's still going a little slow here. Basic and Gold clashing like no tomorrow in this bottom lane. It's a battle of power. You can definitely tell that Team Sexy really wants to jump that bot lane, kind of shut down Gold, but I don't think it's gonna happen here. For the side of Team Sexy, I'm gonna need to see best player they're just gonna have to farm it up. If Karina can get to bursting, and then possibly getting like they're gonna have to bait out that Cult Altar. Like that's the win condition here. Like you cannot let when the Cult Altar connects, like get away, run.
Yeah, bait it out. Try to really extend these team fights, right? Try to extend them and not lose too much health. And they do have the, like, Nicolette does have the range. Gold, not the longest range marksman, but with him being able to take shots and move away, take shots, he kites pretty well, right? So, and they do have the sustainability in the front line as well, so they do have a win condition here. Like you said, they do have a possibility to bait out these fights, make them last long enough, and then come in. Warrior, though, catches this heavy spin. I think the Valley knows what these win conditions are, and they are being aggressive in the early game. Team Sexy, though, has kept this gold deficit to a minimum throughout these first 4 minutes.
Yeah, and we do see Karina, the jungle path of Karina right now. Best player. Oh, he's pulled in.
Oh, the Sanguine Claws do come out. Nicolette keeping them away. Best player does escape.
Back to what I was saying there before best player almost gets yanked into a tower. Like, best player's jungle paths right now are amazing. Other than right there getting pulled into that mid tower, that's the kind of like problems you don't want to arise. Like, and those are the little mistakes that the Valley is going to capitalize on. We have to see best player like dot I's and cross the T's here, and be able to control that jungle away from Akai here.
Yeah, and look, he does leave his blue buff to try to contest onto this turtle. He did get the last one. Arvel gets the pull. Guapsi gets a turtle, and the heavy spin locks on to best player. This could be bad. Raquel, with that Dawning Light, takes out best player Rimuru. Now to the back line, the Cult Altar does come out, giving the Valley the sustainability we were talking about and fending off Team Sexy. And while all this is happening, look at JC cutting all the way to base in that top lane.
That's what JC does good. You know, like just knowing the map and cutting into the back here. But we're coming into the instant replay. Best player trying to get in there onto it, but the heavy spin does connect and it stops and holds him into the moon shape there of the turtle. And absolutely, and then the cold tilter goes off. This is what I was saying that the Valley needed to do. They had to capitalize on that cold tilter connects. Get out.
Yeah, and look, hold on. JC making some plays, and while we were in the replay, best player goes down once again, putting him at 0-3. The Valley keeping up their aggression. They've taken the tier 3 in the mid lane, gonna move on to this blue buff, and Warrior can do nothing. Rimuru trying to do something up at the top lane, maybe gain a little bit of ground, but that small deficit. Wait a second, Warrior a little low here. Arvel decides not to go for the chase. Oh my god, a beautiful Dawning Light taking out Warrior. Gold may just be next. He uses the torn apart memories, but just can't get the kill onto Arvel. JC continuing to harass in this top lane, keeping Rimuru away from that tower.
JC is holding his tower as much as possible. Is he thick enough to survive? Rimuru and best player here. It was. JC is just, man, cutting the lanes, getting that early XP farm in so hard. Oh, heavy!
Oh, Cold may go down. Basic does pick up that kill, and Guapsi tanky enough to take a couple tower shots. Warrior gets the stun onto Basic. Guapsi goes too low. Nicolette gets that kill, finally putting the kill on the board for Team Sexy.
Yeah, this is a high kill game almost, you know. 6 minutes in, seven deaths have already occurred, 7 kills have already occurred, you know. So what I mean, the side of Team Sexy, again, like I was saying, they're gonna have to bait out these turtles, definitely capitalize on them.
And look at Raquel's damage right now. Turtle does get stolen. Nicolette able to get it. I mean, at this point, you can lose a turtle. The Valley got the second one. Team Sexy has gotten 2 now. The Valley, though, is holding ahead with this gold lead. And I gotta focus on a Raquel right now. 3-0-2. That last Dawning Light that she sent just brought Nicolette and gold down to about half health in one shot. Arvel maybe blocking in on Warrior. We do have a battle over the blue buff here. Guapsi does get hit by the Sanguine Claws with the Nature's Charge. This could be bad, but Warrior getting caught off. The Cold Ultra keeps everyone alive with just enough time to keep Team Sexy away, and that blue buff is gonna get stolen from Guapsi.
Oof, man, that was a crazy play. They are trying to, on the side of Team Sexy, trying not to get picked off, and they're doing pretty well. They just got to keep this defense up. They have that late game secured on the side by Nicolette. So if they can keep this defense up, maybe get a pick here and there, they might be able to turn this tide and control the wave.
Yeah, Team Sexy definitely very. Wait a second. Best player too deep. Mega kill onto Raquel. Another wonderful play from the Valley, just picking them off piece by piece as JC continues to harass into that top lane. Basic caught him between 2 members. Don't get too crazy. He does have the after image still, or the mirror image. Warrior, though, with the wild charge. Basic may go down. Torn apart memories. Goes right into the face of Basic. And another kill goes into the hands of Team Sexy there.
That was a great play by Warrior. Maybe, nope, showing a lot of presence here, putting up a wall to kind of, again, they're just trying to, whoa!
Oh, God, Arvel gets the kill. Warrior goes down. The combos, the duo between Arvel and Raquel right now is just insanity. These two are causing mayhem all over the map.
Man, dude, Raquel, I mean, is exactly what you were saying. 4-0-3 already. But we can't even count out JC. I mean, he's an XP laner that normally doesn't really, more of a focuses on sustain. And it is 2-0-2. Like, overall, the whole side of team, the Valley is actually looking hungry. Their snowball is in effect here. The first Lord is not going to be contested. Maybe Team Sexy wants it.
Possibly, but Arvel is there. The Colt Altar has not even come out yet. Dawning Light connects onto 3 members, brings down gold, and the rest down to about 10% health. Warrior putting up a wall just to try to stop it. Raquel wants more. She's moving in. The Lord has moved into the hands of the Valley now. Guapsi on this bottom lane, gonna help macro a little bit, bring it into that tower as Rimuru is alone, zoned away from her base, zoned away from her team. Arvel now marching with Raquel once again. Warrior stands in this bush, probably trying, ready to defend. Nicolette, along with best player, 3 members, trying to keep this Lord at bay. The Sanguine Claws do come out. The rest of the team closing in with a pincer formation. Warrior does get the wild charge, but Globsy's here with the heavy spin. The Dawning Light connects once again, and a monster kill comes in for Raquel, but the fight does continue. Rimuru into the back line, but he needs to run away. The rest of the team chasing him down. The Lord has luckily been taken off the map, so Team Sexy will live to fight another day, but the Valley doesn't want to let that happen. They're staying aggressive. Another wave of minions coming in as JC holds the front line with Guapsi looking for a play to be made. Raquel being patient, sending out that Mystic Field to keep them at bay, and another red buff is taken as Guapsi's gonna move on and steal the blue as well.
There was so much action that just happened right there. Like with the Lord push, with all of Team Sexy, all I can say is like they're doing decent on the defense, but they're just lacking. The Dawning Lights by Raquel is just not absolutely. Look at that. Look at the damage. It's just too much for Team Sexy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. Last game when we watched New Wave, we were talking about Jappa getting fed. For the Valley, you need to watch out for Raquel. In the NASL right now, she's like leading KDA with like a 20-something KDA because she's only died a handful of times. Right now, I can guarantee you Raquel is playing monstrous, and the team knows that. And not only Raquel, the rest of the team as well. I mean, 3 deaths spread out along 5 members. This is a bad spot. Rimuru, you are tanky, but are you tanky enough? Basic will chase you down along with JC, and Rimuru goes down, putting that kill into the pocket of Basic.
I mean, a double pull back there.
That was nice. JC keeping this front line in. The rest of the team will back off at this point. I don't know. Team Sexy 7K deficit.
How late is their late game? What do they need to get to try to turn this thing around?
They need another like solid 3 minutes. Like and again, if they can get to it, I think it can definitely come into a late game here, and it's just going to be a combination of who has the better retry. As you can see, they're trying to get a little bit of pressure, do some of the split pushing, but JC just will not let that happen. Just absolutely controlling the side lanes. You can just call JC the side lane hustler because he's there 24/7.
I mean, look at the gold difference right now. Look at Raquel with 7,700. Just definitely doing very well for a mage. Compared to Nicolette right now, who's a full 1,000 gold behind. All the members of the Valley are standing tall, but the Lord is up now. Looks like Team Sexy may want to go for the contest. Warrior with the wild charge, but only connects onto 1 member, and the rest of the team is not there to help. Gold firing some shots from the back line, but Warrior may be too low. We haven't even seen the Cult Altar just yet. Gold does keep on pushing, but the torn apart memories is not enough. Raquel will go down. Team Sexy gets 1. Can they get another? Best player now trying to possibly make his move. Does a little bush work, but the Lord is still up, luckily, for Team Sexy. JC keeping vision for his team, holding that front line down. He is a pillar for the Valley right now, and Team Sexy just can't seem to knock him away.
He's just like all over the map, man. Like he's just constantly pressure. I was actually suspecting with Raquel going down that we might see a comeback from Team Sexy here, putting a lot of pressure. They are zoning them out, it looks like, to the Lord. JC does have to go to the side lane. T-Rex, we might see something here.
Yeah, Arvel does get a pull, but only onto Warrior. The Petrify comes in. Arvel getting deleted. This could be good for Team Sexy. We do see Gold trying to work away onto this Lord, but Guapsi is taken down, a double kill, going into the hands of best player Team Sexy. Finally firing back. Raquel hailing down onto JC right now. Best player with the Blazing Duet, but not enough damage on a Warrior just yet. Nicolette trying to fire a couple shots. The Lord still up. This is a long contest. JC back in it along with Arvel, and a Dottie Light connects from across the map onto Nicolette, taking away the damage from Team Sexy. Rimuru also here. Basic will go down. It's a 2-for-2 trade on the map, but Team Sexy is spanning out these fights, but best player isn't able to make it. Knocked down. Nothing but Warrior and Rimuru as the Valley stands tall. Arvel now trying to connect onto Rimuru. Rimuru just wants to get back to the base. Please let me. But Arvel will not let it happen. Luckily, she uses the ult to get over the wall. Lord still up, still going. The Valley and Team Sexy are in a brawl right now.
Man, let me tell you, the sustain on the Valley and just the like wait and bait plays allowing Raquel to come back, and then the Dawning Light just sniping people. Just not like Raquel's just the American sniper.
Definitely doing a wonderful job, but once again the Lord's a little low and Guapsi will take it. Now there are 3 inhibitors up, right? There is a possibility, and Nicolette, we talked about endgame. She was able to go with no deaths for a long time. Yes, the Valley did a great job of starving her out of those stacks, but she's starting to get there along with Gold. We're seeing that damage. So if she can go and not get hit by a Dawning Light, there is a possibility here.
Might even need to start building Athena on the side of Nicolette there. Maybe if you could just survive a Dawning Light or not get taken down to like half HP. Again, they're coming into about that 3-minute mark that I was telling you. So Brody's about to come online. Nicolette's about to come online. We're looking at best players lacking a little bit in the gold side of things. It might also be coming online here soon if they can defend this Lord and not allow it to crack into the base. But from the side of Team Valley, they're pushing in every single lane.
And the Lord does connect. First inhibitor will go down there, right down the middle. And the Cult Altar, the Wild Charge tries to defend it, but all the Valley still has 100% health. They are going to keep pushing. Lord down to half health. Nicolette trying to defend with all she can, but the pull comes in, and Nicolette goes down. Rimuru maybe next. The Lord finally off the map. Best player in the back line, but the Dawning Light secures that. A triple kill for Raquel. Warrior now all alone. The base down to half health. The Savage for Raquel. The Valley takes game 1.
Wow. A Savage. Was this the first ever Savage?
No, I don't. It's not the first Savage of the NACT, but the first Savage of NACT for Raquel, and a beautiful Savage at that. Raquel, you are a monster.
An Xavier of that. The 84% team fight, almost 40% hero damage. Dawning Lights coming from everywhere. The Team Sexy just couldn't stop it.
You know, I think if Team Sexy could have drawn out that last Lord, they maybe could have brought that game back. You mentioned Gold and Nicolette did come online there. They just needed, let's take a look at this replay though. The Dawning Light to get best player. We're at a triple, the Mystic Field, and then he just finishes it off. Everyone lets him too. I love the cooperation. The Valley sits back, they bring out the emotes, and they're ready to help Raquel get that Savage. But back to what I was saying, I mean, Team Sexy did have the opportunity there. They could have came back, but the Valley knew that. So wonderful plays from both teams. The Valley knew what they're winning. They were aggressive from the very front to the end there. They had to bring it home with that Lord, and they knew that. Team Sexy knew their win condition well. They just weren't able to secure it.
Yeah, and again, like I was saying, it was coming around that extra 3-minute mark that they needed to finally come online. And like you were saying, the Valley could feel it in their bones. They were not going to allow Team Sexy to come online, but Team Sexy gave a great fight. And I know that they're going to give a great fight coming into the second game. Both teams are heated, they're ready, and I can feel the fuel.
Yeah, that was definitely an exciting game. Even the hint of a possible comeback there lets us know that Team Sexy could definitely take a game in game 2, and that is what we are about to see as we jump into the second draft of this series. This time Team Sexy will have first ban, first pick.
Let's see what they can do this time around. Based upon what I've seen here, you might not want to give Raquel that Xavier. That might be your, I mean, maybe you pick it up yourself. Maybe that's what you want, but you got to watch out. The Valley might bait you into doing that as well. So it's 50-50 here. They're going to definitely start targeting.
You know, the Valley's like one of those teams where Basic, yes, he's good, but he's not like the star gold laner like Jappa or some other members on the gold lane, right? Like, he's not the one you exactly have to worry about. And I think what they need to make sure they're doing something about Raquel. Raquel has just been a monster for the Valley since they joined. I mean, just leading KDAs, getting Savages, just tearing apart. And not only like with the Xavier, I've seen Raquel play the Sicilian and dominate. I've seen him play all types of heroes. So Team Sexy, maybe switch up the strategy a bit. Get someone that can get to that back line that can dominate Raquel, maybe even starve them out of the mid lane a little bit, that can get ahead of Raquel.
Yeah. And one of the win conditions that I stated for the Valley was just that Cult Altar, the fair misplays, like right there at the end. They had 2 health bars. You were fighting 10 people. Like at that base clash, like that's something you don't want to let go through, or you want it for yourself. So there is some things that Team Sexy has to think about here. They're gonna have to, like you said, they need a little bit more backlane peel. Maybe I don't know. I mean, they just got to stop JC. There's just so many avenues that they have to try to target that it's kind of hard for them to all focus on. And they just, like, whoever's making the shot calls has to start doing that. Like, listen, we need to do backlane peel. We need to wait it out. And we were seeing a little bit of mistakes by best player, overextending in the Karina, almost getting caught out. Those are the things that the Valley was capitalizing on, and we don't need to see that. Like, that is what we need you to learn from, and maybe go for a different jungle pick here, because the Valley was they're doing really well.
Yeah, they definitely dominated. And as some of these bans are coming through, you mentioned the Xavier earlier, but we also have the Faramis that we need to think about. Arvel, I mean, a lot of those team fights could have gone into the hands of Team Sexy, but the Cult Altar just comes in clutch, right? So we either ban the Faramis here, or we ban the Xavier, because we can't get both of them, right? So that's what I think we may see from Team Sexy here. We are being patient about it, and that's probably the question in their minds. Do we prio the Faramis, or do we ban it? Or do we prio the Xavier and ban the other, right? I think one of those 2 heroes needs to get taken off the map here.
Yeah.
Unless they have an answer. Unless they have an answer for it.
Exactly. And you know, these are the teams that would have an answer, but you are looking at it. They're getting rid of the Faramis pick. My guess is they're probably going to want to secure this Xavier for their side. Both mages, like, are top tier mages. Nicolette, Raquel. So we're looking at they're trying to secure whatever they can, but guess what's slipping through the cracks? Eve.
The Eve is still here. Nicolette comfortable on neither of those, right? Like, if the Valley opts to ban out the Xavier here, not wanting to give it over, we know Nicolette could pick that up. It was something that was banned out last game, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's definitely an option. The Franco getting banned off here. We don't want to leave that open as well. That's the thing about most recently.
Xavier.
There's, so it's like, do you pick up the Xavier and give the Eve to Raquel? Or do you pick up the Eve? They decide to do neither, which isn't honestly, like, we pick up the Thamos as a solid pick, let them decide, and then we counter back, right?
Huh. I mean,
it's risky, but
it is risky. I like your positioning and your strategic think of what Team Sexy's thinking about here, you know? Like,
but is it worth it? Because
I
don't know. It sounds good when I'm saying it, you know? It sounds good, but I'm like, but once I see Raquel pick up the Xavier, I'm just like, oh god.
Ooh. Now we're definitely seeing the teams take their time. You know, like the side of the Valley has 2 picks here. What do we go for? We already see Rim picking up a fighter. So best thing to do, probably counter it. Esmeralda's still available, but they go for the Ballmon pick. I think they're trying to secure objectives and end the game.
I mean, the Ballman can be he's got nice damage, and even though he builds tank, he still has nice solid damage in the early game. You get that lethal counter to get kills, you get it to get positions, you get it to get objectives. So once again, the Valley looking aggressive, and we just saw in game 1, if they can start to steamroll, they are not going to stop.
I'm guessing that they didn't want to go with this Esmeralda pick just because Rim could be swapped out and a Thamos be in the jungle instead of an EXP, and then they counter with a Dairoth. So we are seeing some plays being made. Nicolette picking up a Lunox though, which is again the tank killer. You know, not the tank killer duo, Carrie and Lunox. We got a Clint and Lunox. So the Valley's gonna maybe go for more mobility now versus going for a full tank set here.
I mean, you get a lot of utility from the Lunox, right? Like, you can get that brilliance to possibly dodge a Dawning Light to get out of the mystic field of that Xavier. So that was something that Nicolette ended up having problems with towards the end game. She kept getting caught by those Dawning Lights. Also, looking at the side of Team Sexy, seeing some nice possible ambushes here. We know the Lunox, you come out of a bush, you just shred things down, it's a bit more of a divey mage than, you know, than an Xavier, than a Yve. It's more of an in-your-face mage. So we may see her get a bit more aggressive this game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what they need to do. I mean, if the Valley, you already can see that they're going to be aggressive. What better to counter aggressive to be aggressive back, you know? Like this is, and now we're seeing from the side of Team Sexy, like they got backline peel. Banning out the Diggy though. Forcing them to ban the Atlas. So now we're seeing that they're trying to get rid of a lot of these ban picks that they don't really want. So now that leaves open so many more heroes.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, the Atlas would work good for Team Sexy, right? But the thing is, they know that the Valley is going to get first pick after this, and that's something they don't want to, especially now with the Diggy band. It's like, yeah, like you said, we're going to, like, all right, the Diggy's gone. That means we don't want to go against an Atlas. So we might even possibly, I know Guapsi's been playing the Akai, but it's not out of Arvel's reach at all. Heavy CC. Arvel also does wonderful on the Kufra. I've seen some insane flicker Tyrant's Revenge, follow up by the Rage. So they might just focus in on to Arvel here.
I think the side of the Valley is trying to go for a Beatrix pick here, which is why they immediately went for the Diggy Atlas, is to, again, like I was playing off of, they're trying to leave as many gold laners as open as possible for basic, you know. And then
no, we're no Beatrix basic.
Yep, no Beatrix basic. I guess I read the play very well, and so did the Team Sexy.
Yeah, I mean, and this is like we said in the beginning, these teams have played with each other a lot. They know what the other team wants. They know the picks to worry about. So a lot of this is going to come down to these small precision picks and bans. And then in the game, most of all, right? So we are looking at the Valley now with their first pick in the second phase of the draft. I'm wondering if they're going to opt for basic first or go for the tank first. You know, I think basic, they could put the gold lane up front and let Arvel kind of counter with the tank as their next pick.
Is the proof that I'm still alive.
We picked Brody. No, this is actually the first time we've seen basic play a Brody.
I don't think it's been like Claude, it's been Beatrix, some of those things.
Yeah.
I'm not completely against the Brody here, right? You do get a little CC, some ability to possibly escape, but overall Brody hasn't been like the most shining marksman, especially with Claude open right now and some other popular picks in the NACT.
But guess what we just seen? Best player picks up Ling.
I haven't seen him play, you know, he must be on some good Wi-Fi right now. I haven't seen him pick up, he's been playing the Fanny, he's been playing the Ling. He's definitely, because we know those are the heroes that he loves to play, but he just hasn't been bringing them out. And recently in this NACT, we have gotten to see him pick up a lot of high mechanics heroes. So definitely excited to see how he runs this Ling.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, you know, like this, like, I don't think we've seen him play Ling at all in the NACT as well. We've seen it in the NASL, but we've not seen best player bring out his godly pick. A lot of comfort picks going off here. Some a little bit wild, some wild cards that we are seeing in here. The Brody, the Ling. It's definitely going to be coming down to what teams can compete and stay the more aggressive.
Yeah, we do see Warrior fall into that Grok pick again. It wasn't super, like, most of his wild charges were like one hero in game one, so we didn't see anything super crazy. Hopefully this time he can get those picks. I can tell you what Team Sexy needs to watch out for. They need to watch out for Guapsi invading, stealing that blue buff. They do have the ability to do that with this Kufra. I think he wins out in the early game a little bit. He's got a bit more tankiness, a bit more aggression. So once again, we may see the Valley heavily hammering in onto the jungle of Team Sexy.
Yeah, not only hammering in onto the jungle, like Guapsi, like win condition for the Valley here is like objective, you know, like constantly controlling the jungle, because we know the Ling can just dive around the map and kind of course eat up your own jungle. So if there was a jungle that I could pick that could, you know, put Balmon on his toes, definitely a Ling.
Yeah, and now as we jump into the second series of this best of 3, the Valley trying to take this home and make it. Let's remind these viewers what is on. This is for the top 4. Warrior now engaging. There's a nice wall. Raquel may go down here. Nicolette pushing in from the back line. JC also ready to defend. Warrior now. Rimuru also closing in on JC. JC forced to use the sprint to get away from that. Team Sexy, you want aggression. They're going to bring it into the Valley this time. Best player coming over on the wall. Guapsi could go down. First blood going over to best player.
Best player, you know, we've seen his Ling in the past. Maybe he's actually upped him to fiber, you know, he's got fiber Wi-Fi now. Nah, what we're seeing by the side of Team Sexy is that they're playing really well. This is what they need to execute early on. Stop the Balmon from being able to farm. We see the invasion. Warrior playing such a good game here now on this Grok going in, and didn't even need a Tempest of Blade to take down Guapsi there.
Yeah, Team Sexy must have been like, listen, Warrior, we want you to be aggressive. Let's get in their face. Let's custom him. That's what you want to see from the Grok, right? Like, that's that old school Grok that we used to always see, you know, a year or so ago when he was very popular. Get in the enemy jungle, give vision, cause mayhem, right? Delay Guapsi as much as possible. First turtle once again going over to best player. This time, Team Sexy is holding strong.
This, I mean, if they can keep up this motion, best player, Team Sexy, Nicolette, all of them could be doing really good.
Ooh, a big pick on Raquel, and that is normally unheard of. Raquel is known to go with barely any deaths an entire game, but this early on, that is huge for Team Sexy.
Wow. Definitely. I mean, they're again, aggression. Aggression is what we're seeing here. And they got to keep it going. From the side of the Valley, man, they need to maybe defend Raquel here. Just kind of overstepping it. Not able to do as much with this Xavier this time around. Guapsi, and I mean, that can all be attributed to the gold lead. It's just, they're doing so good right now on Team Sexy.
I love the way, too, we got to keep our eyes on Rimuru here, right? I love the way he's constantly cutting and then putting pressure onto that red jungle of the Valley. He's just constantly trying to, like, the goal right now, slow down Guapsi as much as possible. But Guapsi also known to be aggressive as well, pushing into the jungle there. We are seeing that gold deficit start to creep up. Wait a second, big knock up, but the Brilliance does come down. The utility that they needed, but Arbel with the Tyrant's Rage, able to lock down. Nicolette goes down, the kill goes in the hands of Guapsi, but best player is here to help out, and Arbel will be shredded from gold. Team Sexy looked like they were gonna lose out in that team fight, but they end up coming out on top with a 2-for-1 trade.
We are looking at now a well-oiled Team Sexy here. Like, they're definitely on the charge. From the Valley, Arbel might need to help out Balmon right now. Guapsi's having a little bit of a trouble in the jungle, and I said this is what Ling does really well. If Balmon can't reach objectives, he can't steal them.
And Warrior just seems to have really fallen into his comfort zone here too, man. He's placing the walls, he's creating space, he's doing everything that you want to see or take. There's the wild charge. 2 members get knocked up. Gold takes the turtle. Tempest of Blades locks down, does miss on Guapsi. They're able to escape because the wall kind of barriers them away a little bit late, but Team Sexy is on a roll right now.
Yeah, they got to keep it going here. They already took out that bottom lane. What is Brody doing here? Like, I thought he was like pounding the ground. I'm like, that's not an ability. Like, how's he doing that? But we do see Warrior might be in a little bit of trouble here, T-Rex.
Yeah, is getting chased down. Arbel wants it with the Tyrant's Rage. Nicolette falls into it as well. Warrior will go down this time. A best player here to help out. Gotta watch out for that bouncing ball, though. Doesn't want to force it. Guapsi gonna come in, wait for the lethal counter. Doesn't have to use it. Basic takes the kill, evens the playing field. 3 for 3 all over the map in 5 minutes. But the thing is, Team Sexy holding the gold lead.
We do. I mean, they have the gold lead, right? But we did just see the Valley kind of disrupt the flow of their combat here, sending best player back to the base. You know, this is the flow. You didn't want to be interrupted. So let's see if Team Sexy can pull it back and keep it going. You know, like this is what they need to do. The Ling is just best player is going to be just constantly going through his jungle right now. This is not the time to be aggressive. It's the time to kind of hold back. But as I say that,
Arvel forced to use that flicker. And we were just taking a look at the items, right? And gold, also 0 kills.
Yeah.
We've seen how well the Clink can do. We've seen this from several teams. He's already got the Endless Battle, and it looks like he's opting to go for the Berserker's Fury instead of the Blade of Despair, going for a bit more crit. Basic shredded down. Arvel trying to defend, not quite able to, but gold is going to chip away at this tower. That is another tower down for Team Sexy. Where was this team in game 1? Team Sexy has turned a leaf. We're looking at a redemption story.
I'm hoping so. We definitely need to see a best of 3. You know, like I want it to go to the long haul, and if any teams can do it, it's these teams. They're definitely well oiled right now. Guapsi.
Yeah, don't try to get in there. This isn't game 1. Best player now coming in. Guapsi does not have that skill too. Cannot spin out of this one. He's going to try to dash. Best player with the Tempest of Blades. Not quite able to do it, but now they're moving on to Warrior. The Prodding Light does come down, but Rimuru comes in, cleans up Guapsi, cleans up Raquel, and Nicolette takes out Basic. It's a full 4-man sweep. Rimuru, JC forced to go back to base. Now they take that tower. Gonna move on to the second tower. JC all alone. Team Sexy is marching on in game 2.
Man, big shout out to Nicolette. That positioning and that flank, deciding not to back out and retreat, and then come in from the back of the Valley and just eradicated them. That's the back lane peel they needed in the first game, and they didn't have. And now we see they're learning from their tad bits of mistakes that they had, and the Valley's starting to suffer here. We're already looking at most of the tier 2 towers being already taken out at the 7-minute mark. Almost 8-minute mark here. I don't know. The Valley right now is definitely on the back foot, but they have Balmon. They could sneak a Lord kill here and, and turn the tide.
Oh my God, that is disgusting. Gold and
That
Nicolette.
was JC.
JC. I mean, literally, what, 2
What?
seconds? 2 hits, half a health, gone. Now Warrior moving on to Guapsi. Tempest of Blades comes down to help secure that kill. Dawning Light comes in, but the damage isn't like game 1. Basic with the torn apart memories just can't cut it. And down goes JC, Arvel, and Guapsi. Team Sexy moving on to the next tower. That is all towers but inhibitors down, and the Valley has not taken one yet.
Team Sexy wants to end this game the 10-minute mark. I already feel it. Like the aggression that they're showing, like they're not backing out of fights. They're actively progressing the team fights when they happen like that. And then what is JC made out of? Paper? And they just brought the hot knife out and I've never seen an Esmeralda just vanish.
I mean, that's gold right now. Gold. Berserker's Fury, Malefic Roar, Endless Battle. Raquel was the big burster, the big chunker in game 1, but this time, gold and Nicolette 5-0 in 2. The man is farmed, the man is fed. They are ready to take game 2 and bring us to 3.
Man, we do see, again, like you were saying, they are engaged and ready to fire. Dude. This lore push, can the Valley defend it? They're definitely on the back foot here, but all of Team Sexy sinking the lanes, T-Rex.
Yeah, they are coming. Lord has connected. It's not an enhance, so they don't get the crash, but Nicolette does not care. She goes in with the Ruby DD, tries to do some nice damage, and the inhibitor does go down. Mystic Field able to lock up on a Warrior, but Tempest of Blades is here. Nicolette secures Basic. Guapsi taken down from best player. The Lord finally off the map though, but JC strucken out. Gold gets that monster kill. Raquel with the Dawning Light, but once again, the damage just isn't there. Team Sexy with the redemption story, trying to come back for this reverse sweep. They take game 2.
Let's go. The rubber band match is engaged.
The rubber band match is here. You know, before we started this stream tonight, me, you, Dave, we were talking about the lack of best of threes and how hopefully this one would come. We wanted a poetic match. It is here, G.
Warrior turned this game around, and I'm not gonna not count out gold with the massive amount of damage, but together the control, that 93% team fight participation, just constantly with his team, allowing them to secure kills and get set, that allowed to feed gold. It was insane.
Yeah, I mean, I was worried about Warrior in game 1, but maybe he just needed the warm up. He just needed to get comfortable because in game 2, the man was on fire. 0, 1, and 13. I know Gold got the MVP, but honestly, the playmaker, the zoner, the one who made things happen, Warrior, definitely the star of game 2.
You can see my hair, like, but I was like this the whole time, T-Rex.
Yeah, I mean, I was on edge too. And, you know, the Valley just dominates in game 1. Team Sexy says, you did it in 10.5 minutes. We're going to do it in 10. They come in, they clean up. We are looking at what me, you, and some other casters like to call, what do we say? The rubber band match.
Let's see if they can get it done. This is definitely, again, we don't see too many best of threes, you know, so it's 1-1 right now. The Valley, Team Sexy, both securing a win, but I'm so surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised, but definitely shaken. Like, what was that Team Sexy? Where did they just come from? Like, that was nice.
They got their burst energy. You know, they lost game 1. They got it together. Maybe, like you said, we need to start having some shot calls. We need to start making some plays. Someone needs to step up to the plate and say, hey, you do this. Warrior, you need to start zoning a bit more. They collected themselves. They came back, and they were ready for game 2. You know, we're now looking at the percentages. The Valley does hold 56%, but I think a lot of those votes changed over in game 1. So if you voted, don't you touch it. Stay strong to your teams, because the reality is, whoever wins this match, I love both teams. They're both amazing. They do a wonderful job.
Yeah, both teams well-oiled. Maybe we're seeing now the nerves are iced. You know, like nerves of steel have engaged from Team Sexy. Like you were saying, the shots were being called. Not only were the shots being called, we were seeing some really good strategic plays.
And now we are into it. This will be the last game of the night, jumping back into the draft. This time the Valley will have first ban, first pick.
And man, you know, we were thinking about that the Moss pick early on in there, and we were kind of questioning not banning out the Xavier that whole time. But look, like we were like, that was crazy how the tides were turned. You don't let them farm and you snowball well enough, it don't matter what hero or character you're playing.
You know, I might drop another tier, man. I know one of them has to go this match, and I'm stressed. I'm very stressed. I'm hyped, and I'm so glad, because me and you were talking about this game. I'm so glad that we're going to a game 3. I'm so happy that it is just not a complete dominance of one team, because both of these teams are so amazing. And now with this last game of the night, who will go to game 4? The Valley keeping it like similar to game 1, taking out the Fanny. I think Team Sexy knows they need to ban out the Faramis, right? They could not handle it in game 1. So do what you did in the last game, ban out the Faramis somewhere in these first 3.
Yeah, and we see this a lot when like we get out of matches and everything, and some teams forget about this. They think about the last match. We're going to round 3. You got to think about the last match and the match before that now, because like now you're seeing how well the teams are playing with different heroes. Like now you're trying to target ban what happened in last match. You still got to keep an eye on, like you said, don't let the Fermi stick through. We still, a Valentina still isn't even banned. Julian's still up there. Eve, Xavier, there's such great hitters out there, and they just don't forget about them.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of options. Team Sexy, though, not changing up too much. The Julian, something they really don't want to deal with. And we just saw them beat the Xavier, right? We saw them, something we were so worried about in game 2. We were like, oh man, Raquel got the Xavier. But Nicolette comes in clutch with the Lunox. So we know there's still some tricks up their sleeve. And I love take out the Lunox. Not only that, but best player bringing out that Ling. Like, normally Ling is a possible ban, but I don't think anyone expected best player to pull that out of his pocket because he just hasn't in so long.
He was dusting, like you said, he's kind of dusting the rust off, and that
Dusting
Ling,
the rust.
dusting the rust, you know. It was definitely interesting here.
Faramy's
Who's gonna
open.
get this? Faramy's is open. Do we see another round 1? They couldn't let Valentina open, though. Like, that's still such a strong pick.
Xavier open, Faramy's open, lots of things still open. Team Sexy, risk it for the biscuit. We're going to give that Faramy's over to the Valley. They should be able to answer back. Xavier's still open. Kai, plenty of things still open. The Ling possibly for best player, but that Faramy's is going to be hard to deal with.
Yeah, this is... I don't know. Team Sexy, do you rely on the Ling pick again? But this is where you need, like, pure burst. Because if you can burst the Cult Altar, whoa, though. I've been talking about this since the first and second round. The Eve does get picked up, but to be honest, Faramis is
deal with the Cult?
a pretty good counter. Because like your real world manipulation is not really going to do much if you're trying to eat through like multiple health bars.
Yeah, they're just going to hang out. They're just going to chill. It's like, oh, real revelation. We've been here before. We're not going down. So, I mean, and now I like Guapsi picks up the Sakai, a great counter to that Eve. You know, I was going to say, I feel like there's two options with this Faramy's, right? There's what you said earlier, bait out these fights, which means you need to go very sustainable. And you need to try to maybe get to that late game to where you can really sustain and drown out these team fights. Now, me, theoretically, you could also hard focus that Faramy's early game, just like you would a Raphael or any other squishy support roam, right? If you can get 2 or 3 kills onto that Arvel exclusively in the first several minutes of the game, you're gonna set him back a lot. Now, yes, he still gets Cult Altar, but you do give yourself an advantage in the early game, and maybe just try to hone in and really pick on Arvel here.
But as I was saying earlier, like we're looking at the Valley. Looks like exactly the same comp game 1, and this is what you got to keep your eyes on. You got to think a little bit further into the future, but also think about what happened in the past. We don't want to see history repeat itself.
Yeah, and that's maybe what we see here. Now, jumping into the second bans, Claude is taken out from the side of Team Sexy. You know, honestly, I'm wondering if the focus on Basic is the best thing. Basic hasn't, like, again, he's been solid. He hasn't been the star. He hasn't been anything like that. Almost might be better to focus hard on the JC, take out the Uranus, take out some of those EXP laners, and leave him a little bit constrained.
Look, they're doing the same thing that they did last time. Banning the Atlas. I don't know if they're gonna waste the ban on a Diggy here. I mean, I probably wouldn't. But maybe they don't really want to see a Diggy, so they're trying to force stuff out here. This is it's interesting. I definitely would have banned a Diggy first instead of the Atlas, and then baited the Atlas ban for the side of Team Sexy. But you do see a Beatrix. Beatrix not able to show herself in the Land of Dawn this season, or this session, I should say.
Yeah, she definitely hasn't. We're not going to get to see her at all for the rest of the night because this is the last one. Esmeralda getting banned off. I got a feeling we just see Warrior maybe fall right back into that comfort kit pick of Akai here. Rimuru gets swapped up for the Uranus. Assault pick, especially with Esmeralda gone. Now JC, though, going to get the Masha and Basic blocking in the Wanwan. Will we finally see the turnaround of this Wanwan?
I feel like the Wanwan going into a Clint is not the best ideal. Not the best ideal. You know, the burst damage from gold can be, and we've seen it. You think Wanwan Basic, you think you're thicker than an Esmeralda? Because if gold gets fed, he's like a hot knife.
Yeah. We definitely know that the burst damage can come. He likes to go that Berserker's Fury route as well. Just bring in the crit, right? Just bring in
And then the
high
Lolita.
burst damage. The Lolita to help with the stun and even help with this Wan and the Dawning
Xavier.
Light. A definite solid pick from the side of Team Sexy. It's a Warrior getting out of his comfort zone here, leaving the Grok behind, bringing in this Lolita. I like it. We're getting spicy, G. We're getting heated. The final game of the knockout stage. After this, we go into the top 4.
I can't wait, man. And like you said, I wish I could see both these teams succeed, but one does have to fall here. And to be honest, both comps are looking really well. Does Team Sexy not repeat the history, you know, and like they turn the tides, don't fall into the same bucket that they were dealing with in round 1? And like you were saying, I think it comes down to burst damage. Take out the Fairness.
Yeah, and this is it, everyone. To the viewers, the fans, Team Sexy up against the Valley. Will this be the redemption story, the reverse sweep for Team Sexy, or will the Valley move on to the top 4 stage? Money's on the line, glory's on the line, pride is on the line. Let us know who you think is going to be victorious. Wapsi already getting a little bit engaged from Warrior here. Warrior forced to back away. I like the aggression, though. This is what Warrior brought in game 2 that helped lead his team to victory.
Yep. Oh. We do see the Little Wonder going to best player. So maybe best player took a shot of Bang. I don't know, something. He's feeling a little energized right now. Putting in a lot of work, controlling the objectives. A little bit different than we've seen last time from Guapsi's Balmont.
And what I do like, Team Sexy definitely, like, I think they know, like, let's just be aggressive in the early. It's what worked in game 2. Game 1, they played a lot more passive. And with this Ballman, they do have the opportunity to be aggressive. We already know best player's good at taking turtles. Even when they lost, he was able to get 2 of the 3 turtles in game 1. So I think with that objectiveness, just play for the early game, get aggressive, and try to get that gold lead up. You know you can fight for just about any objective on the map.
And I mean, I agree with you. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Oh, Guapsi though with the heavy spin. A flicker does come from gold, but this could be bad for Warrior. Does get pulled in. Bow of Tang is there, but Basic does not have level 4 just yet. Team Sexy able to disengage from that.
They did. I mean, both teams going for the gold lane. You can definitely tell that their strategic call right now is it's going to be the tide turner of Clint versus Wan, the most epic battle story you've ever seen. Gold!
Oh, gold. The crossbow of Tang is out. Basic not able to secure it. I got to point something up. They're both rotating up to this turtle, and Rimuru comes down, cuts off the Valley from this area down on the blue buff, gives best player the opportunity to move in onto that Lord. Rimuru does come in. Nikolai gets a kill onto Guapsi. Rimuru's pretty low, but does have the same ability. The health bar is already coming back up, and first blood goes over to Team Sexy.
Those are those micro plays that we need to see. Being able to cut them off, I mean, as you were saying, Team Sexy knew that pretty much all of the team was down there into the gold lane. So Rim doing real well, communications on point, cutting them off. Masha not able to keep up as much as you would suspect against the Uranus here. So I don't know, man. The Valley, they're playing passive this time, and like you were saying earlier as well, Team Sexy is playing aggressive, and they got to keep that flow going. And if the snowball happens towards the side of Team Sexy, and it looks like it's starting to form a little bit here, if they can keep this flow once again, this might be Valley taking the trophy home.
Look at Raquel. There's 4 members of Team Sexy right now around this middle area. Team Sexy playing a very grouped up. Wait a second. Guapsi in this bush does have heavy spin. Decides to back off. Doesn't want to force this fight to Valley. Definitely playing passive. Wait a second. Newman on blast does come in. Does land. Lethal counter comes in. Forcing out the Cult Altar. Arvel is a little low. Basic also trying to fight off. He does have a crossbow of Tang, but not able to get those weak points. Arvel very, very low. Gold gets the pick. Gets the kill. Arvel goes down. Team Sexy, another one in the bag.
This is, again, like you were saying, I think one of the strategic comps to be able to counter the Fairness pick is 100% like you were saying. Just just don't let them be there. Keep them killed. Like, keep your focus on Arvel, because in the mid game, Arvel could change the tide, you know. And oh, heavy spin.
Yeah, heavy spin does come down, but he pushes him away from that dawning light. Little lack of communication. Warrior though is here with the movement on blast, and Guapsi is deleted. Another kill going into the hands of Gold. 2-0.
This is a different Team Sexy from round one. Round one, they were looking a little rough. I don't know what, they oiled their edges, and they're now invading into the jungle. And then this is again how the snowball happens. Basic world manipulation.
Oh, that is hideous. Beautiful play from Nicolette. Wonderful positioning. One thing I think a good point we got to bring up for the Valley here. Raquel. 0-0-0. Has not taken a death, just been farming. There is still opportunity. Arvel has also only taken 1 death. Guapsi, even though he's a jungler, he's a tank. You know, he's a tank. He's not the big damage dealer, so there is still possibilities. We haven't even reached the mid game yet. Lord now is up. Team. Oh, for a second I thought that Tawny Light was gonna steal it.
Yeah, that would have been something else. That would have been a clutch play to possibly stop this snowball from happening. But just the rotations. The Valley, like you said, they're gonna have to feed Raquel, because the only person that is staying alive, the only person that's able to constantly create a lot of farm, baiting out the Colt Ulters, is what you need to do. Not even quite sure why we utilize the Colt Ulter there, and these are the mistakes that Team Sexy are capitalizing on, and the Valley need to step it up. Oh!
Ooh, Arvel is going to get the double pull. Guapsi is here. Does have the heavy spin ready to go. He's going to try to pick on to Gold here. Able to push him against that wall. JC locks in. Real manipulation does come out, but Gold is finally struck down. Guapsi will pay the price for that kill, though. Nicolette on a killing spree. Crossbow of Tang. Down goes Warrior. Best player may just be next. Rimuru is in the back line, though, and Team Sexy wants to keep up the aggression. I like it. I love it. They are trying to smother the Valley right now with a 4K gold lead.
They are, and I mean, you would suspect with 4K. Oh, we did see a real world manipulation go off. Oh, did it replay here? Guapsi with the heavy spin, absolutely controlling that battle there and taking Gold out. They'd shut him down, which could smell a little bit of trouble here. Basic is now almost probably engaged.
No time for the crossbow of Tang. That's a problem, right? Like dancing around a Ballman like that, definitely not easy to do because you're just constantly taking damage. Looking at the items right now, G, we're seeing Gold once again go for that Berserker's Fury. Ballman's got the Guardian helmet, the Cursed helmet. He's got 2 hats on right now, and he's looking, as you like to say, thick.
He's definitely, I mean, and they're putting so much pressure. Ooh, Guapsi
is coming in with the heavy spin, not able to make a big play, but at least gets them away from the push. The Dawning Light does come in. Warrior forced to retreat. Gold taking away that tower. Out comes the road manipulation, followed by the Cold Altar from Arvel, but not enough like game 1. The stun comes in, but Arvel's able to walk away using that Purify. Gets away with a sliver of health. Team Sexy, where was this aggression game 1? This is how they need to play as they move onward, if they move onward into this tournament.
Yeah, the Valley, they're trying to counter the aggression with aggression here, and we're seeing that the Colt Ulters just not coming off in proper times and only saving a couple people, not like a full team fight. I definitely think the side of the Valley has to slow down this pace a little bit, keep the lanes, and just hold out, you know? Like, this is coming down to another like bunker up. Keep your flow going a tad bit as much as possible, and don't get picked off, because the Team Sexy's hungry.
Yeah, and as we can see, they're moving on to Arvel. He does have the Colt Altar, but he's not able to pop it off in time. Will go down. Guapsi now already used that heavy spin, not able to make a big play. Team Sexy keeping them in their base, doing what they did to them in game 1. We're going to starve this jungle. Now moving on to this tier 2 in the mid lane. Warrior dashes forward, gets a stun onto JC. Guapsi trying to also move in. The Dawning Light does come out, but still not enough damage. Gold firing shots on the back, and a mega kill falls in the hands of Nicolette. Colt Altar does finally come out. We do see some Russian crossbow. Tang goes off. Best player does go down. Raquel gets that kill, though. A nice pick from the Valley. A nice defense from the Valley.
Oh, very, very good defense here. And I mean, again, we're still this was such an insane fight. The real world manipulation, the dawning lights, Guapsi getting taken out by the real world manipulation, the Colt Ulcer going off, best player falling into the crossbow of Tang, and then again, Team Sexy just properly disengaging. Even though you have the gold lead, these are the things you got to watch out for. Whoa!
Oh, a beautiful pick onto Warrior there. Can't even yell about it. It happened so fast. I mean, and now we're seeing the Valley start to rubber band a bit. Even with a huge deficit in gold, they can still make plays, and these are what separate the boys from the men. We even saw it in game 1. Team Sexy, we're at a huge deficit, and we're able to make some plays. Team Sexy knows that maybe their time is running thin. They need to try to end this soon.
Well is definitely coming online though, and Arvel. It looks like the flow.
This could be bad for best player. Roadman just come out though. Arvel goes down. Crossbow of Tang does look on to Nicolette. She's gonna get shredded.
She lasts with just a sliver of health, and now Gold is here. I'm hungry. I want more. Rimuru also from the side helps Gold get the kill on to Guapsi. Raquel may just be next. Warrior with an Numenon Blast, the flicker. Basic able to stop that CC and escape, but Warrior, Gold, and Rimuru are holding this down. They do back off though, playing a safe. Lord is up, and Gold and best player are gonna start on that. So will the Valley try to contest this, G?
I mean, they just overextended there, and I don't think they were able to. Not with Guapsi going down there. Guapsi seemed to be having a problem. 1-5. Oh, real world manipulation goes out.
Oh my god, just shredded down. Basic completely deleted. Gold staying on this flank. I love his angles right now. I love his positions. Warrior with the Numenon Blast doesn't have the flicker, so can't connect. Dawning Light comes off to try to salvage this tower. Team Sexy's been working on it for a while now. Luckily, they did get that Lord though. It will come creep. It will be here soon. It's coming down that top lane. Team Sexy wants to take as much out of this as they can.
I mean, they're gonna have to. The Valley is showing such great restraint and holding the base. Sometimes, again, making a little mistake here and there. But if they can keep this going for another couple minutes and maybe get a really good play by Arvel with the Cold Ulcer and the team coming in, ooh, I think they can do it.
Oh, JC does have a lot of health. He should be able to hold on. Try to get out of there. Real manipulation comes out. It comes right out, right over the tower. Followed up by the Numenon Blast. Raquel gone. Who may be next? The Lord is still up, and the inhibitor is finally down. Guapsi and Arvel trying to defend with all they can. He used the Cold Altar. He's down to 10%. Back into the fountain. Lord still at 50%. All members of Team Sexy up. JC goes down. 2 down for the Valley. Lord trying to connect. Team Sexy want it. They're here. 50%. This is the redemption story we wanted. The reverse sweep. Team Sexy, you're going to the top 4.
Wee, man. What a game. What a game.
Wow, wow, wow. Let's break that down. Let's take a second.
Sweep.
Insanity. Look at Nicolette right now. Definitely
93.
the star. But all of them, like, I was so worried about them in game 1, but they were just able to come in and just start working as a unit after game 1 and just carry forward.
Yeah, I mean, just look at, like, even Gold, like 10k Gold, 12 minutes in. Almost all of them, even Rim, like Rim, almost 10k Gold, the same as like a gold laner. Like, there's their overall micro plays to control the gold and keep that snowball going was a huge factor. And you know, we were kind of doubting the Eve a little bit just because we seen how well the Fairness played, but my god, Nicolette, 93% team fight participation, the positionings, the coming in and the right times, and just knowing when to not get broken up.
Yeah, definitely amazing. Now, before you guys leave, we are going to be having an interview with some of Team Sexy in just a moment. Before we get to that, so don't view away just yet. We'll be jumping to that in just a second. The Valley, though. The Valley has shown so much improvement, have done so well, but Team Sexy ends up standing tall. Join with us right now. Is that best player?
No, it's me.
Nicolette.
Nicolette.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Welcome.
I'm doing great right now.
How's your
feeling
nerves?
Good? I'm kind of nervous right now. Like, I'm kind of trembling because the Valley is actually a very difficult team, and we managed to pull through, I guess.
What was your overall strategy? You guys lost round 1, but then you guys came back so strong, coming into round 2 and just played different. What was the strategy?
I think our strategy is early mid-game heroes, because the early mid-game heroes like Lunox, Valentina, you know, what did I play last round? Eve? Yeah. The early mid-game heroes allows me to like pressure their team where they can't, where Guapo can't just like sorry, I'm nervous.
You're okay. Take your time.
Where Guapo isn't like, where he can't easily just pick off our marksman because we have the upper hand with the early game. You saw how like Akai just ran it down basically on Lolita the first game. Well, he wasn't allowed to do that because we were able to delay him, and I was actually able to rotate because I wasn't on Sicilian, a hero that needs late game.
Yeah, you guys did so well in that second and third game. Me and I don't, you probably didn't hear us casting, but what you were just saying is exactly what we were saying. We were like, listen, they started getting aggressive in the early game, and it's just where you guys shined. And I definitely hope to see more of that. Nicolette, you know, we've been casting on some of your games for a while. We've been enjoying. We've known you and Carlos. I was a little worried with some of the recent roster changes for Team Sexy, but you guys made it to top 4. You guys are here right now. You've made it. Do you think you could take this whole thing?
As of right now, I think we can after this, especially after this series, because I think this series gave us a boost of confidence, but I think New Wave is gonna be tough, and the new team who beat BTK, Team Meta, they're also tough, yeah.
Definitely have some tough competition. You definitely do.
It's very nice to see that there's a lot of good NA teams now.
Yeah.
That's not BTK.
I have one more question, and maybe T-Rex might as well. What do you guys see your future at with Team Sexy here? I know you're trying to make it here, but then we're gonna be having what, M4 qualifiers? Are you guys gonna keep going?
I don't know about the rest of my team, but I think me and Best Player are gonna try qualify.
That's what we love to hear. You know, we've all been watching you. Right now, the chat's going crazy. They love it. They love you right now, Nicolette. Any words to the fans? Any words to the viewers? Any final words from you?
Thank you for the people who take their time to DM me, to give me motivation, and I have some words for you two.
Awesome. You know, Nicolette,
So I have some words for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
I think you guys have really improved on casting a lot since the first NASL.
Yeah.
It's been a long road, and I appreciate that.
Yes.
I mean,
T-Rex
you've
is
been
about to
listening to us. I am about to cry. Because Nicolette's been around for a long time, and like since all this started.
I really appreciate T-Rex's work for NA. I don't think people say that a lot.
Nah. He's definitely, what is that Assassin Dave crying in the background? No, we appreciate it. T-Rex is an amazing guy. Me and him, like, I've met him a couple years, like a year and a half ago, and I've stuck with him ever since. He's definitely a wonderful person, and I appreciate definitely your words of advice.
All right, enough of me. We do have to wrap things up. Thank you so much, Nicolette. I really do appreciate it. You've been awesome.
You.
I hope you guys do great. Tonight was, we were talking about it. It was a tearjerker night tonight to have to watch the Valley and Team Sexy go against it and know that one of the two of our favorite teams has to go home. So I'm glad you guys made it. You guys put on a great show, best of 3. And until we see you in the top 4, thanks for joining us tonight, Nicolette.
Bye. Thank you so much.
See ya.
All right, that was it, Nicolette. Make sure you guys check out Team Sexy, they do have an Instagram, along with a lot of the other teams in NA. They've all been trying to boost up their social media. You can find them all on Instagram. You can find their accounts. Support NA teams, support North America. We're trying to grow here. We're trying to build here. Share the stream, click the like button, do all that shit. And even if the Valley lost, make sure you check them out. That is going to be it for us, though. Any last words from you, G, before we throw it back to Assassin Dave?
GG, guys. As you can see, North America has competition, and we're here to stay and fight. Definitely don't doubt us, and we'll see you next time. Back to the amazing Assassin Dave.
All right, that was a great interview, guys. I gotta say, big shout out to T-Rex and G Aiko. They've been hosting NASL to keep the North America competition going. The tournament has been fantastic, exciting, guys. So make sure to go check out their channels, follow their future path in the land of down, on the land of down, because NA is about to pop off on the globe, and it's going to be more and more exciting. You're going to see more and more of NA going forward in the global scene of Mobile Legends. But ladies and gentlemen, that's about to wrap it up for us today, right here, for the knockout stage of North America Challenger Tournaments. Your top 4 contestants going forward next weekend, which is I think August 30th. That's going to be the first day, this upcoming Saturday, the first day of the final stage, the top 4 in a double elimination format. Very exciting. You have Meta, you have Team First Blood, New Wave, Team Sexy. They deserve to be here. The entire road, as you can see, single elimination going up, one chance only. And the road is tough. Every single team in NACT so far has performed extremely well, and we cannot ask for a better tournament so far. So thank you all so much for being here. Remember to jot down on your calendar for this upcoming weekend, Saturday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The same time as today, that's when the final stage will start. We are going to have Meta taking on Team First Blood. We're going to have New Wave taking on Team Sexy in a double elimination format. The tournament is about to go into the final showdown. I cannot wait. And remember, if you're in North America, in USA, in Canada, you have not redeemed the code. I don't know if 50 players are already redeemed, but just a reminder, you can still try using the code shown on the screen right now with the link in description, and you will be able to get 100 diamonds. Only 50 first player who redeem this will be able to get the prize, which is 100 free diamonds. So again, that's going to be it for us today. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, rest of your weekend, rest of your day, depending on where you are. We'll see you guys next week. Bye for now. Well.